show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You know what? It was an overthrow by Mitch. Yeah. I mean,
injured bear on the field is Akeem Hicks.
Cousins loses the football, strip sack and takeaway.
Bears our live.
Who else but Khalil Mack?
Bears our live. We go on live right after Bears games with your boys draft talking the smartest man alive. Yo. Bears our live. Bears our live. We go on live right after Bears games with your boys draft talking the smartest man alive. Rant up with the true analysis you expect. Raw passion for the show. Bears fans get nothing less. Locked in with real emotion and passion for every play. Coach Phil gonna bring that range, but in with facts like shade. Post game show like nothing else you're gonna hear. Some can try to copy, but a bucket's not sincere. Delivering the truth on what just happened to be clear. That's why we're on TV so you can see it, not just hear. Hey, yo, with draft Dr. Phil, you know it's always hit sticks. Splitting double teams like 96 Akeem Hicks. You can tell the shit matters. A bit love can be felt. Critical of Nagy cause the talent he's been dealt. Our life keeps growing. Shane's all knowing. Delivering the truth on how the QB's throwing. Dimes on time, just lacking fundamental. Whatever the case, we get hot like Cecil. Fiery discussion about what happened in the game. This ain't your daddy's postgame, so expect the fucking flame. Not for the average fan, a loss they can't survive.
But don't you worry.
Bears Hour Live.
Bears Hour Live. Bears Hour Live. We go on live right after Bears games with your boys draft talk and the smartest man alive.
The Rant Legend,
Bears Hour Live.
Dr. Phil
Bears Hour Live. We go on live right after Bears games with your boys draft talk and the smartest man alive. Bears Hour Live. Bears Hour Live. Bears Hour Live. We go on live right after
The Tape Never Lies Network.
This is Bears Hour Live.
Hey, here we are, Bears fans. Bears dropped the game 21-9. Season over, and now the questions start. Lack of effort all over the field. We saw it on offense, saw it on defense. It goes hand in hand with the inept coaching staff. Talking about these off-season questions that we're going to be handling all off-season, but first and foremost, this is a big night that's going to be taking place in Hallis Hall because they have to make the correct decisions there. I'm of the fact that it needs to be a clean slate, start over. Yes, there is talent here. You're not getting the best and the most out of the guys that you're paying the most. And that says it all. It says it about your leadership up top. It says it about your coaches. But it is what it is. We're used to this as Bears fans as much as it hurts. Playoffs. Did the Chicago Bears look like they were in the playoffs to you guys? They didn't to me. Did this coaching staff look prepared, or did they look like they got out prepared, across the field? That's what it is. But we have so many questions to be answered here on BHL tonight. We have so many questions about this team moving forward, and it's going to be really, really important to focus on what we're doing here because we're gonna cover it better than anybody else moving forward. It's going to be hopefully a Black Monday here in Hallis Hall moving forward. But until then, we're going to turn it over and we're going to give it to the draft doctor so he can get going on his opening rant.
Talk about pressure. How do you get everything packed into a synopsis of what just transpired? That's a lot of pressure to put on me without pads and a helmet. Because what I just saw there, having all of you Bears fanatical fans that understand the game of football, wanting my thought to be put into perfect completely tangible understanding for the world of people that care. If you don't care, you're okay. Fucking, we were on Nickelodeon. Hey, that was fun. That's you. That's those people. Those networks. That's everybody else trying to fucking pass the buck. The buck starts here. You want to know the truth? I got 500 DMs from people fired up and have all the fucking answers and this, that, and the other. And I'm watching the fucking game with my sons and one of my best friends. And all I see is what I've been showing you each and every week. And it goes with weak. When you're a weak character, the reflection of you transcends to the people you're supposed to be directing and leading. But he can't do it. He can't do it. He can't understand situational football. You heard Tony Romo say it there. And then they backpedal. Hey, you can't fire Nagy. I mean, how many years has he? 2 out of 3 years in the playoff? That doesn't tell the fucking story. They backed into the playoffs against their rivals. They sucked. Got it? Get it, Chris? With a K? That's the reality. As a head coach, you're maniacal in situational football. Maniacal. You know your personnel. You know your talent. Javon Wims in the big moment. He's punching people, right? In this big moment, it's dropping plays. It transcend the whole game. The momentum gets lost because you can't make a play any fucking NFL player should make. It's no pressure. It's your job. Don't make an excuse. It's right in your hands. It's in the bucket. Mitch made a play. Those are the trick plays you run in big games. Down the field to score. Not gimmick reverse. That shit don't work. That's JV. But let's get into it. Let's talk real talk. Let's talk about missed tackle, loafing. Have you heard this shit before? Drops, 3rd and 12. Give them 14 on 3 missed tackles. We can't do it because you're not prepared. You're fucking 1 minute and 22 seconds to go in the game is the first question you ask your head coach. Why, coach? Especially getting the ball because you deferred. Why aren't you being aggressive? Why aren't you being aggressive? You just ran inside zone twice and did nothing before the half. But want to go into the half 7-3. That's not what you signed up for. All these fucking media, all these little blog boys are going to write their story. It's not on Mitch. It's not on Nagy. It is! I don't give a shit. You want to talk about trading for Watson? Draft Watson. That's what you should have did. That's what you should have did. That's what I would have done. That's what Shane, probably me and him would be fighting. Fuck Kaiser. It's Watson. And we'd be fighting. We'd get it right. That's what good teams do. They don't get it right. Mitch, they have no confidence in. No gambler. You got nothing to lose. You're 8-8. And you play conservative. That's the head coach. That's why this network says clean house. Cut the head off the snake. All you're going to see is this over and over again. And oh, by the way, undisciplined, lacking fundamental football is a reflection of the head coach. Let me whisper it into your ear. I don't give a shit, Pagano. He's your assistant. It's you. That's your team throwing punches. It's disgusting and it's disgraceful. And that's why you are losing, embarrassing organization. Because nobody would do that if you were a head coach demanding the best. Because when you demand it, you get it or you get out. We've said it over and over. And if you want to question who's calling the plays, it's the head coach. It's not even close. And that, Shane, is my fired up rant with the pressure of the world on my shoulders. McCaskey, Get this fuck out. He's a shoe salesman. We've been saying it all year long, have we not, Shane? Have we not?
Yeah, Phil, we've had it covered here for a long time. I mean, right, wrong, or indifferent, be a, truther, a Mitch apologist, a Mitch supporter, believe in Nagy, not believe in Nagy. These guys are who they are at this point. I mean, there's a groundswell out there of saying on Twitter right now saying you gotta get Nagy his quarterback. Nagy handpicked his quarterback. Nobody's talking about that. Nick Foles is here because of Matt Nagy. What about that? Oh, he knows the system better than anybody. He's going to be the guy that Nagy's got his guy. No. Now we got to draft that guy.
Yeah,
It needs to be a clean slate, Phil. We've said it here. That includes Mitchell Trubisky gone, Ryan Pace gone, Matt Nagy gone. But it's not going to happen.
Let's not say that.
I'm speaking my truth. I think
do me a favor tonight on this show.
Yeah.
Don't say it's not going to happen. We know what we know. Let's just say what needs to fucking happen on our network. Because we're not blog boys. That answer right there. He's got to draft. He interviewed for the job fully knowing who the quarterback was. You don't take Colts job, Bears job, whatever other jobs were open at that time without making the decision, okay, that's a young guy I want to coach. That's the reality of don't try to rewrite history. He chose, interviewed, took this job fully knowing Mitch Trubisky was your quarterback. They went so far, go back and read the goddamn stories. Don't try to change this shit, blog boys. Oh, he's got to get his guy. He's got to get his guy. We could be waiting 20 more years for a quarterback to get his guy. The guy doesn't teach. He calls plays. He doesn't scheme guys open. Did you see the last play? How fucking ironic is that? Let me just say this. Jimmy Graham in the red zone, oh, by the way, is a threat. And on the very last play, with the clock hits 0, should be the pink slip under or in Matt Nagy's fucking play sheet. They should just slide it in there, stick it to it. Because Jimmy Graham should be in the offensive scheme in the red zone, making that play for you. 7-3, and you're inside the 25-yard line. Let's get our big tight ends in. No. Let's throw an out to fucking Anthony Miller, who gets thrown out of the game. Let's not skip over this shit. We got my father in the room. There he is.
Hey,
Coach.
How you doing, Chip?
I'm glad you didn't get to hear my
F-words?
rant. I sound like Eddie Murphy raw and Eddie Murphy raw.
Oh,
because it is a disgrace.
You know something, Phil? I was going to put this in the air tonight. I'm saying they got a guy number 80. He hadn't caught a pass all day, and he catches the touchdown pass.
Yeah.
They didn't even use him until the last drive.
I'm telling you right now, the whole problem with this team now, as I look at it, my opinion now, is the offensive line.
Absolutely.
You got a great running back. The defense finally got excited about playing. What a great game they played. I'm telling you. That team played hard. And it's just unfortunate we got some dummies that go offside because there's 2 of their scores because of offside.
Oh, my own. Let's talk. Stop. Number 39. Let's get this out of the way. He's all pro. Ryan Pace, the GM. And
all show. He's all show now.
The GM signs him to this big deal, and this guy is the guy jumping off sides. He is the guy freelancing, whiffing on tackles, arm tackle, trying to strip the ball. He is a freaking wart in the worst place on your body. He is horrific, and we've been saying that all season long. And in the biggest game, you got to have your player. Manti Te'o comes in off the practice squad, and he plays better on a defense he's not played with all year than the Pro Bowl hype bowl. Fucking put him in the Nickelodeon bowl. Get him off the field. Like, I don't understand. There's no accountability with this head coach. You're right. The defense was playing with heart. Claudio turned to me. He's like, Phil, it's been 3.5 quarters of the defense trying to keep them in there. The offense can't even move the football. And you're right. The offensive line, guard, oh my God, bars and the center, as we broke it down on yesterday, breaking down those two, 64 and 67, had a horrific day. They're getting pushed into the backfield. You can't run the ball. Claudio, you can get on those comments in the chat. Don't be afraid to put them up. I know there's so many going on. I just don't want to leave them. But you're right. The defense played hard. I don't get the game plan whatsoever.
There wasn't any.
It's the same thing. Yeah. Just call plays.
Well, I thought Mitch probably had his best game.
Really?
Yeah.
How'd you see that? I'm struggling seeing it.
His throws are right on target.
He throws the deep ball that should have been caught. Yeah. That changed the whole momentum of the game.
Yeah, did.
Shane
if he caught that ball, I think New Orleans would have been in trouble. I really mean it.
Well, yeah, I mean,
confidence-wise, Mitch was like, after that play, his confidence in throwing the ball down the field started to waver.
No, he had nothing to lose. I don't think that can happen. I think he threw the ball with, some accuracy that I hadn't seen before. He threw the ball pretty well, I thought. Well, listen, you got to remember one thing. New Orleans, they took the run game away.
Dropped off.
What did Montgomery make? How many yards did he get? 25 yards?
He had 12 carries for 31 yards.
There you go.
Yeah.
That was close. I wasn't even counting. I'm just saying he didn't get a lot of yards.
No.
And that's a great back. If that defensive line made sure, they said New Orleans came in that game to say they're not going to run the ball. That's bottom line. And you know me, Phil. If I'm coaching against somebody that has a great running back, he's not running the ball.
Right.
And you can shut that guy off. I'm telling you. You might give away a few other things, but you can shut that guy off. And that's what they did today. They made you one-dimensional. And then what I'm trying to say, and that's just my opinion, I thought he threw the ball pretty well. Never saw him throw that ball with accuracy like that. I don't know what the stats were, how many he completed, but he was around it.
19 of 29, 199 yards and a touchdown. But yeah, I didn't think I do agree he had some throws where I not normally used to Mitch with that, seeing the accurate passes there, but still what turned me off from the whole thing, Coach, with Mitch was on that 4th down when he rolled out and he's got his hand on his blocker he runs out of bounds before halftime. And I'm like, this is the playoffs. This is what it's all about. And you're deciding to go out of bounds short of the sticks. And to me, that I've talked about this numerous times on this show. Upstairs, I just don't think Mitch has what you need to be a sustainable NFL quarterback. Yes, the coaching staff does not help. The players have to also help you out, but he
doesn't have what Breeze has. I mean, he made some plays. Breeze is just incredible.
Yep.
But he's got 20 years experience.
Sure.
He's fantastic. That drop off to that running back to make that first down. It's an incredible play.
Yeah.
It's just instinctively. That was
right.
Really,
he knows the whole offense.
Yeah.
Here's what I have a problem with Mitch. I saw Xavier
1
for 10 on 3rd downs. The 3rd and 9. You're still in this game. It's 14-3. 3rd and 9. He fucking short hops a deep out.
Yeah.
That's got to be an easy throw. You're in the pocket. I get it. This offensive line has been pathetic all year. So you got things against you. The offensive line, the play caller, the head coach and his philosophy and how they block. broke that down. We'll break it down again next Saturday. We'll be looking at this game, me and my dad.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'll break down the tape this week, but then you got players fighting, getting manipulated into penalties. So this whole thing is in
Phil,
utter chaos.
we talked about that here. So Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, I think, or maybe I might have it mixed up. Yeah, 22. You knew going into this game that he's an instigator. And it's not just. I mean, yeah, and that's the thing. And now he's done it to Javon Wims and
say it as long as you don't turn your head in.
Absolutely, absolutely. And to me,
called him an asshole or something like that, and just, didn't say anything else, and he threw a punch at him.
Yeah, exactly.
What it looks like.
Yeah.
And what is
Here it is one more time.
it's there at all? Go out and play better the next down. Now he goes off onto the side.
Turn your head. Yeah, fuck you. I'm coming next play. Why? Right,
see you in 40 seconds. That should be the
exactly.
Yeah.
This is a reflect.
Phil,
what would you do?
You were
what would you do?
I want to go back to defending myself and saying that he had a good game, a decent game. I don't think he's a pro caliber. He's not a franchise. Let me put it that way. He's not a franchise quarterback. And the Bears are never going to win with a guy like that. And there's multiple reasons, and probably because of the coaching staff, number one. He's had two coaching staffs already, this kid?
Yep.
Two.
Yep.
Two.
He's got three
so he's three all. Okay.
Three OCs.
That's a big problem for anybody.
Right.
You lose your confidence with a lot of things. You don't have the confidence to go all out to do whatever. But he's still not the guy. So you're going to have to get another guy. Now, you don't want to lead this coach to get another guy because this guy should be at it. And the new coach should come in with the new coach. I mean, the new quarterback should come in with the new coach. That's what's got to happen. I just don't see this kid winning championships from the Bears.
I don't know now, and I mean he's a free agent, so I mean you can't invest. You know, he's an unrestricted free agent. The Bears declined his 5th-year option, so now
he's not. He'll be a backup quarterback with somebody.
I agree.
Shane, look at the kid from Washington coming in a playoff game, Heineke, last night. And then
I couldn't wait to talk about it.
Mitch Trubisky. Do you see the difference? Like, you don't have to have 55, 60 years of football experience like you, Dad, to see and recognize a gamer, a guy that's going to make plays. You just talked about Breeze. He's just instinctively knowing. Mitch don't know. That first third down of the fucking game. Watch. David Montgomery on an arrow. Wide open.
Yeah, on the third down. Yeah, wide open. Yeah, right there. Yep.
40 yards. First down. We're cooking with gas.
Because he doesn't have –
Let's throw it to Komet. It bounces off the fucking sky. It's over and over. It's people are getting struck.
I can't see as well as you, Deb, because you have bigger screens. I'm looking at I can't see the whole screen.
5-inch. We got to get you a bigger screen.
Yeah,
Listen,
I'm planning on getting it, believe me.
Well, I'll go with you and pick it out, or Shane will pick it out online, and then we'll pick it up because you need to get a bigger screen. But I'm keeping it 100 here. This is not an arm wrestling match of who is at blame more, because that to me is easy. It's the head coach.
No doubt about it. No doubt about it. I agree with it.
Exactly.
And you see him today. He's consoling everybody.
He was consoling. He was consoling Anthony Miller on the sidelines for getting thrown out of a playoff game.
Apparently, I have two guys, one of which I can't mention their name, that said he headbutted the coach, Anthony Miller, headbutted the head coach after that in frustration. Like,
I didn't see. I saw the face to face. I didn't see a headbutt. I didn't see. I
was told by someone in the stands that he might have headbutted him again.
Maybe he said something.
You saw the reaction. But are you going to turn this all of a sudden next year? It's going to change because there's no Mitch. We're going to give Matt Nagy and Ryan Pace another shot at picking a quarterback. Where's Nick Foles going to be your quarterback? And we're going to roll with that. This guy, Matt Nagy, is so overwhelmed. Whatever Mitch is that's over now. The curtain just fell. People love Mitch. People hate Mitch. I really believe if you had a really good head coach with an offensive mind, you've said it before, Dad. There's no scheme here. Yeah. There's just plays being called.
But
He's
it's 4 years in. If he had got him his first year and the guy stayed, you know what I mean?
Right.
He had been probably a decent quarterback, really. And I don't know how good he would be after that because I think I agree with Shane. I don't know what he's got up here.
And Coach, what does it say to you when you see a guy like Trubisky? Like Phil pointed out, the Bears deferred, so they had the ball coming out of the second half, but right before half, a minute and 22 seconds left on the clock. The Bears have first down. You see three consecutive runs with a minute 22 left before half, and you get the ball coming out of half.
I was saying, what the heck are these guys doing? They should be throwing the ball.
Yeah, that's
get a field goal. To lose.
Right? But it says everything in the world about what he thinks about his quarterback, to me, in that situation. I mean, you're essentially you're neutering him there, and then
Ryan Nall's in the game.
The ridiculous unsportsmanlike conduct penalty on 85 on Cole Kmet for throwing the ball to the ref, and they flag him for that. That gives the Bears 3rd and 20.
I think he's on. Let's go to the I'm sorry.
Oh, Nagy's up. Yeah, go ahead.
Whoop. I think Claudio's having some technical issues.
Yeah, the screen is too small.
I'm gonna make it bigger, Claude. But it's freezing up here.
We struggled, to be 1 of 10. When you have an opportunity to make some big plays, you got to be able to make those opportunities against a really good football team. You give credit to Sean Payton and that team.
He loves to throw the bouquets to cover his ass.
And so in all 3 phases for us, we just didn't put it together. And we know that we got to be better and we got to score more points. Defense.
I don't know if you can grab it, Shane. Because
just let me take it down and I'll go grab it.
Well, just get off of it and I'll remove that.
And so that part was good.
Shane will get it, Claude.
We struggled to get that run.
Yeah, just close it out. Claude, just put up the comments. I don't know what you're going to hear anyway from this guy. It should have been George McCaskey coming to the podium. We want to announce we fired our head coach. We're moving on. The search begins now for a championship. Because I want anybody, any PFF stat boy, come on the show. You have an open invitation in the next 2 weeks. This week, we have Paige DeMacos from NFL Draft. What's her site, Shane?
Matter of fact, Jason, I just told the guys in the locker room that for us to
There's
get
Shane
better and
pulling that up.
The team that we need to be, that's something that we'll do here in the offseason is
make it big, Shane, on your end, on that side.
And that's going to take everybody. So today wasn't
there you
good
go.
enough. And you look at a team.
There you go.
There you go.
Now turn it up a little bit.
On the coaching side, player-wise.
Much clearer than Claudio's.
That's a start for us to realize, hey, if you want to go ahead and do damage in the playoffs, you can see situationally.
Situational
stuff, how we got to be better. So we have to be better in a lot of different areas, and that's my job is to make sure that happens, and we got to learn from that. So I would say, every year is a little bit different. Yep.
You mentioned Anthony Miller, and you said he's got to learn from that. I mean, you guys already had
He's
this
got
happen.
the locker room.
Like you felt almost betrayed. When
he controls that locker room.
And now, how do you feel now to see Anthony Miller do it?
Good question.
So here's what I would say to that.
Let me get the political.
We spent some time now on Wednesday morning as a team. We spent time literally showing and explaining a particular player's actions in games.
Yeah.
And teaching it. And that's taking 10 or 15 minutes out of your day, which is precious, right? And so when you do that, I think it's a valuable lesson for our guys is we already knew going into this thing about some of that, right? What do we talk about? Every action has a reaction. And so I think it's a valuable learn, especially when we're low with numbers at the wide receiver position and the value of that zebra position for us.
Why don't you just tell us how you dealt with it?
Where,
Exactly.
Or how you're going to deal with it.
Understand.
You know what? You should just play the Brady Bunch song while he's talking. Here's a story of a lovely locker room. And I'm really get this fucking clown out. What are you doing? Are you serious? Nice beard, by the way. Look like a fucking Viking. He's starting to turn into the former Brad Childress. Look at him. He's starting to look like Brad Childress.
You're facing an uphill battle as it is. You're on the road. You're against the Saints.
I'll never question their effort. I'll never. I got these guys in the locker room. They're fighting,
I'd be sitting here
blowing bouquets and kisses and farting.
That hurt, but I'm never gonna. You know, of all the people, Javon Wims.
Javon's a great guy.
Been sitting in the playbook now for weeks.
We've been waiting on this moment.
We've been waiting for the right time, and our guys knew when it was coming.
Oh my God!
So just
you talk about a leader.
It's unfortunate because again, another learning tool against a team like this.
This guy leads the fucking block boys. That's what they're comfortable with a guy that relies on numbers.
But we all need to learn that when that
get him, Asante
did a great job of giving him a chance and put great air on the ball. And Javon,
it was a perfect pass.
Play.
Yeah. So it's a perfect pass.
The next step of that,
great air on the ball.
Do? So when that happens, to teams that got to grow in that scenario,
this guy has become Brad Childress. Look at him.
Don't let that deflate you. And so I really
calling
feel like everybody
the overwhelmed leader of men.
Who cares? Let's get the next one.
He's this is the playoffs.
JJ.
Be shoe, Matt.
Matt, the decision to run it 3 times there at the end of the first
Thank you,
half,
JJ.
Get to halftime and then try to find some solutions and some answers as an offense at that point.
Yeah, it was the field position, JJ. I didn't like the field position. And
I just
thought that for us,
you're 8-8.
We all need to understand.
You're 8-8 in the fucking playoffs. You don't like the field
let's
position.
See where we can go.
Play soccer
with
oh my fucking God. I'm sorry.
The field position was so bad.
He didn't like the field position, Shane.
They called a timeout.
He didn't like the fucking Brad Biggs didn't like his pizza he ordered last night. Didn't stop him from eating.
At that point in time, that was really the mindset just because of the
God.
Now, you end up getting a first down.
Lord, I can't.
Now it flips. Now
this is football? This is fucking 8-8 back into the playoffs. I don't want to do anything stupid. Oh my God!
Hey Matt, did you get any explanation?
The guy that wins $1 million and is afraid to spend it. Spend $1.
The explanation that was told to me is that he was.
I don't think you realize how fucking an indictment that is.
Any replays, and
that's an indictment.
I mean, Cole and our coaches on staff said
you can't make this up if you tried.
And so I was told that he was throwing the ball to the player like it was taunting. And
people defend this guy.
I haven't seen it to this point.
I can't believe fucking Jake from State Farm calls a better game.
And for us to have that field position we had, now it's
get him back. He is a real estate agent.
I still haven't seen it, so I got to see what.
Of course, he's putting points in the fucking mortgage. That's it. He ain't putting it on the field.
Until I see it, I got to believe what he's saying.
Again, Wiedemer.
Best question, JJ.
Yeah,
great job.
Last moment. What about that trick play?
I want to stop the show. I'm fucking so embarrassed about that. You have no idea.
Disparity today, both offensively.
I didn't like the field position.
So what's your question?
I'm stuck there.
What was it?
What was it?
You watched the Colts game?
That formation.
Put some fucking pressure on this jackass.
All season.
Your defense played their asses off. You did nothing
last week. And possibility at the right time. But then once we knew going into this week where we were, we knew exactly when we got to a certain spot that it was coming out. Our guys knew it for days.
Oh my God.
So it's like one of those ones where you just, especially it was coming. I think.
Could someone remind me? Because all I see is 22-yard line. Where did they get the ball?
Perfectly. I mean, it's exactly
starting with 1 minute 22 to go.
And it's just, we just didn't.
I need that info in the chat. Somebody give me that.
Third down, the wide.
Probably the 30-yard line.
That's a good question.
He didn't like the
really
fucking field
good
position.
disguising.
How about
their
you don't
front,
like your
disguising
job?
their
Because your
coverages. They
job
did
is
a
to
lot of
attack.
zone
You
today,
wanted to be aggressive.
which we've been seeing a lot of.
Been
They
seeing
got
a
good
lot of the
players.
zone.
And so there was a couple times where I'll have to go back and watch, but you just felt like whether it was the protection or whether it was a throw or whether it was a route. But it just, no matter any way you look at it, you can't be 1 for 10 and think you're going to have a chance to win the game. You can't.
This
Two more for
guy
Coach.
is the
Brett
biggest
Biggs.
clown. Tell him, Matt.
Playoff game, and you're limiting the amount of questions he can answer.
You guys rallied to get into the playoffs.
Here's
but
Brad Biggs.
Ultimately, you lose 8 of your final 11 games.
Yeah.
8 of your final 11.
Kind of trending
yes, that's a
positive
good narrative.
as you look forward
You've been
to
fucking
hey, we
protecting
gotta put
this
together
guy.
a plan for the offseason.
Yeah, so
You've lost 8 of your last 11.
When you look at it that way and you say, man, you lost.
Look
you
at
lost
him.
this
Look at
many
him.
heading
He's
into
uncomfortable.
The end of it.
Better believe it.
What we need to do as a staff is we got to say, okay, why is that? Where is it? And how do we? How do we?
You should know the why.
There's a
Where's
year is different,
Acevedo?
and
Get the
you
quote.
look at this right
Know
now,
the
and
why.
I think,
Get the hook.
identity-wise, as an offense, you guys could see that we
Where's
felt
Kiki?
like we
Shepard?
created an
Get the
identity.
fucking hook on the
But now,
Apollo.
how do we learn from that? Well,
Get
part of
him
it
out.
is, you see
Oh
that
my
in
God.
games like today.
Let me remind you,
no
Matt.
matter what your identity is, you always got to be able to run the football.
Your identity right there. A bunch of
when I
fucking
say that,
clowns playing for
you
you.
might not run for
They don't
150
care
yards
about
a
you.
game, but you're going to have a lot
They care
more
about
second and
themselves.
fives and second and
Because
fours and
you've
second and
defined
threes,
be you.
which then keeps you out of
So
the
you're the
third and
problem.
longs. Third and longs versus any defense.
Third and
let
longs.
alone
You're
this
in third and
defense
long.
is
You guys
hard.
can't tackle.
And so what we need to do is we'll
You're
do
in
that
third and
here
long.
in
You're
the next
running
couple of
fucking
weeks,
read
really
option.
start
Your
figuring out,
quarterback
okay,
doesn't pull.
Where are we? How do we get better? We know this isn't.
You don't
good
get
enough.
better. You get better at your
what
next
we need
job.
to do
You should
is
be
do
the
everything
chartered
we can to be able
franchise.
to win a
Your
Super Bowl. That's the
expectation
goal.
should be
The goal's not to make the
be
playoffs.
better than this. You kidding?
We just
We're gonna
gotta
celebrate
sit
8 and
down
8.
and evaluate all that stuff. We obviously know there's a lot of
8 and 9.
Last one.
8
Pat
and
Finley.
9. You're right. Let's not forget 8 and 9.
Two-part question. Have
Lost
you been told that you're
8
back
of your
next
last
year, number
11.
one? And number two, your staff the last
This is
2
important.
years
Listen to this.
has had 2 off seasons has had a lot of turnover. What will you evaluate if you're back next year in terms of whether you need to make changes among your group?
We haven't gotten into any of that in regards to that stuff. Again, like I told you all at the beginning of the week, we've been so focused in on
best
this game.
offensive line coach
and
in
the
the
same
country.
thing goes with the staff. Again, it's like you all know. I mean, it's probably not just our staff. It's probably a lot of staffs with whether it's promotions or demotions or whatever. There's always change. That's just
Get rid of
just
this
how it
guy.
goes. So that's
This
something
change
that
Who's the line
starts
coach
tomorrow
here?
for
Who's
us
the line
as a-
coach?
as a team.
Juan Castillo.
We'll do all of
I'm
our
gonna-
That guy
exit
from
interviews
Notre
and
Dame?
all that stuff and talk to the
No,
guys.
No.
But
The guy
that's
from
him.
Notre Dame was
And-
before
and,
him.
I'm just at a
I'm
point
going to
right
tell
now
you
where
the
I
story.
literally said,
Steve Edwards.
I appreciate the fight of these players, and now tomorrow we'll discuss the other stuff.
Thanks, Coach Ross.
I hope
guys.
they
Thank you.
discuss
Take
with
care.
you. Goodbye. 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 It's like a fucking rerun. Get rid of the show because the show sucks. Let me say this, Dad, real quick to answer your question. It's an important one because you and I were breaking down the tape on X's with the O's on our Patreon channel. So run that brand banner down below. Become a patron, and you're going to get all these extra shows. X's with the O's this week, we were breaking down inside zone and how the offensive line are blocking it and the guards not getting up on the second level. You saw it again today. They can't run the football because they don't know their assignments. So former Chicago Bear Steve Edwards' dad was on our show this week, and he was coached by Juan Castillo and Harry Heastand. And he verified, he's probably in the chat or listening now, he verified that Harry Heastand wants to block differently than Matt Nagy would allow. So was dissension between the offensive line coach and the head coach, and the head coach fired him. They fired Harry Heastand, whose job, whose reputation is a great football coach, offensive line coach, who's fiery. Olin Kreutz, your buddy, the center, going to be a Hall of Famer, speaks about Harry Heastand like Shane and I speak about you. So did Steve. But Steve doubled down and said Juan Castillo is dealing with the same thing. So you want to run the ball, but you got a head coach that says, no, we're going to run it like this, and this is the way I want it blocked. Now you got problems.
Wow, you
certainly
got problems. You know what you're supposed to do? You're supposed to make it simple. Like when I coached, I said, think about it. Half of the plays you're cutting off because they're going away from you. So if you can teach that and really define that, you have really solved the problem. Like you were talking about, when you're breaking down things and you're looking at number 72.
Yep.
And he constantly misses people. If he did that in a drill, you'd take his ass out right now.
Exactly.
You're doing that every day until he gets better at it or he gets out of here. Just everyday drill.
Every day. Cut off.
Everyday drill.
Especially
both sides of the line.
Zone. They're running inside, outside. They're bringing the trap back. It
doesn't make a difference what offense it doesn't make a difference what offense. If you're running a triple option, you got a cutoff on the backside. You're gonna double team, get off the tackle because he's the first read. You got to seal down on the linebacker, double the nose, and whatever you got to do. Depends on the defense. But my point is that half of your plays are away from you. Mm-hmm. That's so important, that cutoff situation. And you got to do it right.
We're going to get into that. We are going to take, obviously, you all listening to this show, Bears Hour Live after every game. Shane and I are discussing how we're going to do this show. 1 second. 1 second. Don't forget. And this week, I'll break down the tape. That'll be out, and I'll break down this playoffs. And then on Saturday, if you're a patron, as you've seen, you patrons, me and my father will take 5 or 6. We're going to take 6 plays again, and we're going to break down how this offensive line and how this offense is being coached and what is being taught like nobody else, live with you, and you'll get to ask questions and be completely involved in what we call X's with the O's. It's a coaching clinic. Now, go ahead. What were you going to say?
I forgot what I was going to say.
Phil, real quick, I got that. Go ahead, Coach. Go ahead, Coach.
No, I wanted to apologize. I wanted to say something that was pertinent to the cutoff and simplicity.
Okay, yeah.
Yes. And you do the same thing with the onside, the play side. Everybody, you work on every play. If you have 20 plays, it takes a long time to do it. But if they understand it, then they don't have to worry about plays. They know it's coming to the side, and they block it that way. That's what I'm trying to say. It simplifies things. And pass protection is probably the hardest thing you have to teach. It takes so much of your time. But those pro athletes, this is their job. They're in there 8 hours a day. They should learn the darn thing. They should have the intelligence. And
it's
a lot of
doubt.
People.
It's no doubt.
There was something I wanted to say to you, and I think I didn't refer to it, but I love what New England did. And remember I said that, and I didn't follow it up, I don't think. Maybe a question came in. But every lineman on the team for the New England Patriots has to learn how to play center, guard, and tackle, front side and back side. Mm-hmm. They all have to learn it. Now, what that happens, what it does is that you don't have to have as many linemen. Let's say you got to have 12 linemen or 14 linemen. They only have 10 linemen. That's what they have.
Versatility,
yes.
Preparedness, all of these things. And it's
Plus
most important.
Oh, that's what it was.
Teaching.
The other thing I wanted.
It's teaching.
Now I remember what I wanted to say.
Go ahead.
When you draft people, you draft intelligence. It's got to be the number one priority. It can't be somebody that can't remember plays. At that level.
Shay, go ahead, Shay. Talk about what we found out about our wide receiver core in intelligence. I think you saw it today, and you saw it the first time you played the Saints, where intelligence.
Yeah, I had a patron from TTNL Network. I won't give his name. His one of his very close friends is neighbors with the Bears wide receiver coach, and the wide receiver coach, in not so many words, has said
off the record.
Yeah, off the record said.
Take this for what it's worth. Wink, wink.
He's got the worst wide receiver room that he's ever been in terms of football acumen and intelligence, other than Allen Robinson and Darnell Mooney. Everybody else
So they're all screwing around. They're not they're laughing and they're joking.
Well, you see Javon.
Like kindergarten.
You see it with Javon Wims, and this is a perfect time, Phil. Here I have the clip for you with Anthony Miller and Coach Nagy after his ejection. Yeah, here you go.
Let's see what happens.
I don't think there's a headbutt. I think he stomps his foot here at the end when he's pissed. But
you can't be doing this to us. Oh yeah, it's no headbutt.
No,
that's not headbutt. He's pulling away from him. You don't want to listen to him.
That's him saying,
"Get off the field. Don't cost us another 15 yards here." That's what he's saying to him.
And he's like, "Fuck this. I'm out. Fuck this shit. I'm out." You know that song. It's like, anyway, why is he in the game? Why are these guys in position to be able to do that? I wanted to address some people that have defended Matt Nagy. And perfect, my father here as a head coach of 33 years. Here's the thing. Here's the thing, Dad. And then I want you to address it. Then we're going to get some guests. I 2 patrons reached out. We'll try as best, but I want you to answer this. When a player selfishly, for those just tuning in, let's just show this. In the moment, this is a close game, okay?
Here it is one more time.
And he punches a guy in the face that's running his mouth on him and selfishly gets ejected from the football game. Now, a head coach that has accountability and control, doesn't that voice, a coach will fucking kill me if I step across this selfish line and punch another player.
Exactly. They know the rules.
Exactly.
You're out of the game and you're not playing next week either.
Exactly.
You got to set the tone. You got to set the tone.
That's a reflection of the head coach if I've ever seen it. He sat there and said
the officials shouldn't have to take him out of the game. The coach would take him out of the game.
Exactly.
Get off the field.
But the reality is the coach said he sat them down in this presser and talked to him about this, and it still happened. So you think they respect this head coach? Are you kidding me?
No.
I wouldn't even
all
talk
I can think
to
of,
that
all I
son of a
can think of is
I'd
Bill
be like,
Belichick.
Fuck out of here.
Bill Belichick, you're not dressed right or you said something wrong, and they trade you.
Exactly.
Malcolm Butler. They traded him. They traded him because he said some things wrong.
Maybe I missed this in the presser when Nagy was on, but it could have been when we were switching over. But Matt Nagy addressed, did you hear it? He addressed the Bears had a separate meeting leading into this week. Okay, I guess I missed that part. Yeah, and I said
talking over it, bro.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and that's I was doing other stuff, so I guess I missed that. But that goes along with what Mike Furry is talking about with his room, where you're putting your, however you want to phrase it, they're putting themselves above the team. And I mean, how many people get ejected from a playoff game? How many times have you seen that in your history? It's a pretty rare occurrence.
I don't know. Unfortunately, it didn't happen in the New Orleans-Dallas game when the guy butted that receiver and didn't even get a penalty. That guy should have been out of the game. And there should have been a 15-yard penalty for unsportsmanlike conduct, including maybe a 30-yard penalty.
You know this guy, Sean Payton, plays to the edge of the whistle, maybe more. He's got his guys playing a bully.
Steve Edwards talked about it on our show to be on the lookout for it, and he was 100% right.
And we saw it, and you got suckered into it. Win on the whistle. Win in the next 40 seconds. I really think it's a showcase of a terrible head coach who's friends with everybody. Just like you said, he's apologizing for everybody while not holding anybody accountable. That's not the CEO. The CEO, look at this. Anybody who wants to defend Matt Nagy, you've never played the game of football, think about your mom or your dad. Think about your parents getting in your ass about whatever it is. Do you do it again? If you did, then you don't give a fuck about your parent. That's the reality. But if you learned your lesson when your father or your mom reamed your ass and you knew the line, you're a professional. You got selfishly did what you decided to do, and it's disgusting on all
I'll tell you,
levels.
you're right. And you have such an emotional outlook on this thing. And I want to forgive you for expressing yourself with so many words. I think you'd be better off with saying freaking thing. I tell you right now.
That apple fell off the wrong tree, huh, Coach?
I'll tell you. But anyway, you're right. I just want to give you an illustration of something. I was at the University of Nebraska, and I won't tell you the year because then you would know the coach, and I don't want to refer to his name. But we were a terrible football team. They won 3 games that year. I was a red shirt. But you know something? When they had to play the big games, they won in spite of their coach, which was a lousy coach, probably just like this guy. And today, the Bears showed me that same example. They could have beaten New Orleans. I'm telling you, they could have beaten them. They played in spite of their coach. I want to tell you the 3 teams they beat. Penn State, Oklahoma, they hadn't beaten since 1948. And the third one was the Big Ten champion, Minnesota. 3 games. We lost to Iowa State, Kansas State, Texas, Oklahoma State, and those teams. But this was a very good football team. This had on our football team, had 7 guys who went to the NFL. So they're a good football team.
But
and
the coach,
what happens to him?
That's
the coach
exactly
is a
what
terrible
I see.
coach.
Every week, I don't listen. I'm not going on narratives. I'm not trying to write a narrative. You know the amount of work that this network and myself put into cutting the tape and breaking it down without an agenda. It is seen there. So those people that stand on their soapbox on Sunday night and say, no, by Wednesday or Thursday when the tape's released, I've gotten many of an apology. Say, wow, when you see behind and see what this offensive line is doing and the way they're being coached fundamentally, then you're 100% right. They're winning. They're 8-8 football team without a leader of men. I will go die on my grave knowing that this coach is the problem. This coach is the problem. And your story about Nebraska is a perfect showcase of that, because
I mean that.
You could blame Pagano, you could blame a lot of people, but the reality is it starts with the head guy. You want to see Mitch's last showcase here?
Hey, Mitch, how are you?
Watch for the water bottle.
I'm good. Mitch, do you want to be back here next year?
Jesus, Pat.
Wow.
Fucking
Yeah, I think
dumb.
I can see myself back here next year. Obviously, a lot of that's out of my
What
control.
a dumb fucking
Can you make that a little louder?
Yeah,
Yeah.
can you turn it up?
It feels like home, and it feels like we have unfinished business. And right now, I'm really just bummed about how the season being over and how the game went. So a lot of emotions going on right now, but I could see that, but we'll see. There's a lot of things that got to happen and a lot of decisions that got to be made, and it's out of my control, but I could see that.
Deion Miller.
Oh boy, that's a good answer.
Mitch,
Out of
how
my
do you
control.
think you performed over these last few games after coming back from being benched, and what do you think that says about you to the franchise?
I feel like I got better. I feel like I got better this year. I felt like when I was put back in the starting lineup that the offense was better, and I gave my team a chance to win. And we did win games, and that's why we were able to get back into the playoffs.
Can you get it
wasn't
out of
just
there,
me, but it was the whole unit coming together and the team making plays and really getting through that adversity together. But I feel like I was a big part of that. So there are some good things that we did towards the end of the season that helped us put us in a position to be able to play here tonight. But
won't
that's
let
not
you do
how
it.
we want to finish. We're still we
strange.
finished the season 8-8,
There.
slid into the
Oh, that
playoffs. We
popped
did that last year. So
Fine.
there's still things that need to be changed. There's still a
The
lot of
Bears
areas we
block.
need to grow in.
Don't worry
in
about
order
the
to
Bears.
build that championship
Unfollow the
culture,
Bears block. Talk
that
about
we wanna
lack of
get to.
football
So,
acumen.
I think we have
I'm
some
gonna
pieces.
follow that guy. You might
but
as
I
well
also
jump
think
in the
there's a lot more
Mississippi
that we need to do
River.
better. We need to figure that out.
Dan Wiederer.
Mitch, when you took the flip from CP and you looked downfield, what's going through your mind there when you had Javon deep there?
What do you think? I got to get this to this guy. He's wide open.
Ball. It was a touchdown. So
yeah, there you go.
You don't get a lot of opportunities like that and get your guy pretty wide open behind the safety. A play we've been practicing for the last few weeks. I was excited. Coach got it called, and that definitely would have helped early on, getting on the board and getting us some momentum. So I thought it was going to be a touchdown, but got to have that next play mentality. But we just overall we're just sloppy tonight.
Is there a name to that play?
Oh, please give us a funny one. Willy Wonka, something stupid. I need it.
But I don't want to say it.
Exactly, because it's something dumb.
Jason
like
Leisure.
the coach. He doesn't want to say it.
Mitch, how do you explain the drop-off that the offense has when it looks so good against the Lions and the Texans and the Jaguars, and then against Green Bay and New
Browns
Orleans?
up 28-0.
With no head coach.
A lot of things,
no head coach.
I think it comes down to execution.
We probably win without ours.
Some things I think we can do differently.
Hire us.
Just to put ourselves in a better position early on. But it always comes down to the basics at the end of the day. Are we doing good on third down? And tonight we were not.
God, these questions.
Were we efficient on first and second down? Tonight we were
name
not.
of the
So we
play
were
is
third and longs.
Fire Nagy.
Third and longs.
Exactly.
It wasn't very manageable. And
It's called
putting us
flea
in tough
flicker
positions and we didn't
Nagy.
execute. So
Get
we shot
out.
ourselves in the foot a lot. I didn't think we played very smart tonight with the penalties. And it was just sloppy. So, like I said, there's a lot of things that we need to do better, a lot of things that need to change. And a lot of it is the culture and what we accept and what we don't. So
I said,
keep getting better.
Javon Wims will be on Good Morning
You got to play
America.
your best ball against better
drop.
teams like that, especially
Like right where we're back.
last week and the Saints.
The
this week.
same old, same
We
old.
got to show up to play and
It's the
execute. And
kicker,
everybody's got to be on the same page.
receiver.
It was just sloppy for us, so that's why we didn't get the result we wanted.
Don't use Jimmy
Couple more
Graham.
here for Mitch. JJ.
Mitch, you guys had built that offensive identity through the month of December. I guess, can you put a
Playing
finger on
shit
why that
team.
kind of escaped you guys? And do you feel like you were still put in the best positions to
Someone
succeed
asked
against
him,
some better
what is
defenses
the
like the Packers
culture
and Saints?
of Matt Nagy?
Yeah, I don't
What
know. I
is
think we
his
just kind of got away
culture
from it tonight
to
a little
teach
bit.
you?
I'm not sure why. I just go out there, try to do my job to the best of my ability, and try to go out there and lead my teammates.
Matt Nagy, offensive guru.
When you're not efficient on first and second down, and they're putting you in known passing situations, you also got to be able to pass the ball and convert on third down that way. But we didn't tonight, and
Oh my
it was
God.
just we didn't execute. We didn't put ourselves in a good position. We got to get that run game going a little bit more, so everything else can come off.
He's
that.
a loyal guy.
You got to give them credit. They came out.
He should not have any
played better than
loyalty
we did.
to this
And
coach.
they were
He
the better
sold
team,
him out,
but,
benched him.
Benched
Benched
him
him.
for my guys, and
I know, he's
proud of
being
the way that we
professional.
battled all year long, and they still
Going to be a
battled
free
tonight,
agent.
even
He's
to the
on
very
an
end.
interview right now.
I do
Is
think there's
this
a lot we
guy
can do
someone
better
that's going to
put
throw
our
everybody under the
to
bus?
succeed. So
His
it's
agent's
something we
already
gotta
told
look
him.
at, something
You don't say shit about the head coach. You don't
talk
burn
about
bridges.
and move
Don't
forward.
say anything.
Last one. Colleen Kane.
Hey, Mitch, just kind of going off Pat's question to open this, just with the uncertainty for you going into the offseason, how do you kind of process that this potentially could be your last start with the Bears?
Would I do
Yeah,
it?
I think it's emotional, and it was in the locker room, but we've been through so much as a team this year, and it was just a special moment to share with the guys and just show your appreciation for everything they've done over the course of this year. And really, a lot of these guys I've been with for 4 years, so that's really special to me, especially some of the guys up front like Cody and Leno.
Seen them in
they've
the
had my
suit?
back since I've been here, and
Yeah.
those guys, among many others, mean so much to me. So it's tough, and you try not to think about too far down the line and just take it one day at a time. And I know there's decisions that are going to be made this offseason, and I feel like I've gotten better over these 4 years and really this season. And it's been tough. There's been some ups and downs, but I'm proud of where I'm at and where we battled and how we got better over the years. So we'll just take it one day at a time this offseason. And I know God's got a plan for me, so I'm just continue to stay positive and keep working and keep believing.
That's all. Thanks, Mitch.
Thanks, Mitch. Goodbye, Mitch. It might be the last time you see Mitch Trubisky as a Chicago Bear. Listen, I want to say this before we get to our first patron fired up guest, Dad. I don't know if you have final thoughts. Do you have to go? Or are you going to stay for a little bit?
I'm going to stay until the battery goes out. I felt bad about that the other.
We got to upgrade your phone. One of
I know. I'm going to check on the battery tomorrow.
Okay. Just go into T-Mobile. You're 80 years old. Just use that as the crutch and be like, I'm 80. I need sun. My phone's dying. You need a show every week. They'll give you an iPhone 12. I always do the negotiations for my dad when it comes to that stuff. We got to get you a 65-inch TV, Shane.
There you go. We'll get him hooked up.
Listen, let me say this. I'm serious now. I'm not in the – I already ranted. I swore. I got all that out of me. We're going to get into the officials and all that stuff, but I want to say this one last thing about Mitch and Nagy. That relationship can't work. It just can't. They're not a fit for one another. When you have a shoe salesman, a guy that's not a leader of men, is just a play caller. He's never been a head coach before, and let's just be honest, he's overwhelmed at the position now. To sit there as a McCaskey, as an NFL person, to think that Matt Nagy in one offseason is going to turn this ship around and become something he's never shown you to be is asinine. It's fool's gold. It's wrong. And I'm just saying, I don't give a shit. You could say, well, they don't have the money. I'm a Bears blog. The Bears blog. The McCaskies have billions. 20 million to them is nothing. Okay, let's hire a whole new staff for spending 20. Because you know what? That's important to the business. The person who's coaching, the CEO, fuck the GM and all that shit. At the end of the day, the guy that's deciding the personnel. Oh, by the way, Riley Ridley can play, Shane. Did you see him? Did you see him? When he gets a chance, he can catch and run. The guy who's deciding the personnel. Oh, 32 can play. He's a better running back than 84. I just want you to know that. Matt Nagy still hasn't figured that out. And that's the problem. Mitch and the energy of the city and the belief and all of that is ghost. It's gone. It's over. But Matt Nagy
you need a guy who has a philosophy, a sound foundation of football, and has discipline in his players. You know, I love these coaches. I love Bill Parcells, but I love Bill Parcells and
you're going to go
Bill
back
Belichick.
to Belichick.
Those guys,
get it.
You know, these guys were tough guys. I love Nitsky too. These guys are tough guys. You got to be. These guys are millionaires. You got to put some discipline in them. You know, all of them. They all make $1 million apiece.
Yeah, listen. Every player in the NFL is tremendous. Even my boy Leno. I saw Leno do something he's never done. Pushed the motherfucking pile today.
He did.
Fired up. I even shouted him out. I can't wait to put that on tape because I'd never seen it before. But the reality is, they're all good. It's so important. The head coach. If you learn anything from this network, you better learn that. That's the most important free agents signing is the head coach, not the GM. The GM got to talk to that. They got to communicate. This is what I want. These are the time. And that's important too. But it's telling you who's making these decisions on game day, this inactive roster. It ain't Mike Furry. It ain't Pagano. It is the head coach. All right. We got our first guest, patron. We do it like this, Dad. Got to have hype. I got hype coming out of my ass.
It's 100 Crew Hot Takes. Phil and Shane bringing on a fan to talk Bears and what just happened in the Bears game each and every week. You have to have hype.
Phil's always telling me to hype.
You can't be flat. So be ready, be prepared and bring your passion.
I had hype coming out of my ass.
It's 100 Crew Hot Takes. Hashtag Spencer Strong.
Those are big time fucking throws.
Bears Hour Live. We got our guest here, Gary Williams.
What's up? What's up?
I saw that smoke and I thought it was Greg Braggs in the green room.
Hey guys, I'm happy to be on the show. You guys, I follow y'all all the time. Patreon member. You know, I listen. I'm just so excited to be on the show. But I got to talk about this bullshit that we've been seeing all fucking year. And the rest of Matt Nagy's whole fucking tenure. I hope it ends. I'm sorry, Coach. I'm sorry for swearing, but I just got to keep it real for a second. Keep it 100.
Yes.
First of all, how can you show up to a game, the most important game of your life, as the underdog, and you come out unprepared? Unfucking prepared. And Javon Wims, if you're still on the roster next year, then we got some bigger problems.
Yeah,
okay.
I agree.
Okay. Because how can you drop a wide open touchdown? Okay, I get it. You made that difficult catch on the sideline. You know, that was a beautiful catch. But then you come back, the momentum changing play of the game. If you would have caught that ball, it would have been a different story, but you couldn't do it. And let's talk about Eddie Jackson for a minute.
Ugh.
Okay. I guess your business decisions is more important than playing hard-nosed football. Jesus Christ. You're jumping off sides. You can't make open field tackles. Half the time you're loafing. You know, you're getting beat in coverage. I mean, he has no leverage. And a lot of it, let's be honest, it's Chuck Pagano. You can't play off coverage 10 yards off the ball on every play and then play a soft zone. You can't play that. You're going to be beat all the time with adjustments, and you see it. Aaron Rodgers do it to us every time. Drew Brees. As soon as I see off coverage, I'm going quick. I'm either going to call a spot route, I'm going to call a slant. I'm going to beat you because you're showing me what you got. You know, and for all the people that hate on Robert Quinn and Khalil Mack, y'all can kiss my ass. You heard it here first, okay? I'm keeping it 100. Yes. Okay, those two guys, they get held on every play. Did you see Robert Quinn? He got took down with the underhook around his neck being turned.
On the touchdown.
On the touchdown. Yeah,
right
they didn't even call it.
Yep.
So here's my problem with Matt Nagy. Matt Nagy reminds me of the fucking coach from The Waterboy. Okay. You know, he's in his office. He's at the chalkboard. He's trying to draw shit up. You know, he has this fucking play sheet that, you know, he can't get that out his mind and his head. I'm sorry about the light. That's my, you know, lighting system. Perfect. It changes.
It's perfect.
Okay. He can't get it out of his head that you're the head coach. You delegate play calling and other tasks to your assistant coaches. Okay. And you can't just be locked in on the offense, okay? I thought it was worse when we had Mark Trestman, but this is like the low of the low, okay? You can never say shit about, you know, Mike Marks being an offensive coordinator or Ron Turner when he was here. At least Ron Turner, when we had Eric Kramer as QB, you know, we had 2,000-yard receivers and we had a 1,000-yard running back.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Now we fire Harry Hestead, who's everyone knows he's the best offensive lineman or one of the best offensive lineman coaches in the NFL, to hire Juan Castillo, okay? Let's talk about Juan Castillo for a minute. This is the same guy who was the defensive coordinator in Philadelphia when they were playing the wide nine under Andy Reid, okay? That's when they had the worst defense in NFL history. But all of a sudden, this guy's good enough to coach the offensive line? It's terrible. It's terrible. I'm tired of it. I really wish that the McCaskies would stop worrying about their billions of dollars and clean house, okay? We need to get rid of Ted Phillips, the accountant. You got an accountant running football operations. How asinine is that, okay? We can talk about Jerry Jones all we want, but we got an accountant running the organization. And then Matt Nagy with your BU culture. BU is B bullshit, okay? You don't hold your players accountable. You're always talking about how everything looked good in practice. I got news for you, dummy. When you're playing 7-on-7 and you're walking through walkthrough drills, everything looks good in practice because you're going half speed. You're barely getting
had
your
a great
fix on the
week of
offensive
practice,
line.
Gary.
We had a great week of practice.
We
You
had a-
already was talking about the play today. Oh, we've had it in the
Great.
playbook for three weeks. Okay. You need to talk about how you're going to block defensive fronts. If it's an odd, you block a certain way. If it's an even, you block a certain way. You know, you got rules as being an offensive lineman, which you have to look for. If someone's in your gap, you're going to block it this way. If they're head up with you, if they're shaded this way, if you're going to kiss, if you're going to rub, we don't do any of that shit. That's why we are so terrible when it comes to pass protection. And on third down, the opposing defenses know it. Okay,
Exactly.
Here's the other thing too, all right?
Gary, bringing it.
I played high school football for 3 years. And in college, I took a theories of football class. And even when I was, in high school, I wrote my own playbook. I was really into coaching. I coached, middle school for a year.
Mm-hmm.
And I can tell you, if you're going to go 4 and 5 wide personnel, you can't have splits within the hash marks. You're basically telling the defense that I'm going to box the defense into a particular area. And so now I can't stretch the field vertically or horizontally. That's why we're getting beat. And then
only
you guys make me laugh. But you can't do it. I mean, we run
a good laugh.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6 yard routes. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Our guys, hell, I don't see any effort out of Javon Williams. Last week, Phil, when you put up the play where on 4th and 1, he could have ran across the formation, right, and tried to get himself open. He was just jogging it like, hey, I'm not in the play, so I'm not even going to bother to put forth an effort.
Exactly.
I tell you. It goes on and on and on. Cordell Patterson coming in the game. Listen, champ, you're a special teams player. You're not a tailback. You're not even a backup.
Exactly.
Okay. He has a Cordell Patterson fetish. Okay. The guy runs hard. I give him that. He's a good teammate. But I'm sorry, you're not in the game plan for no more than 1 or 2 plays. I need you back on special teams where you can be more effective for me. And Ryan Naw, I'm sorry, you're the training camp darling, where you look good in training camp for the last 3 years, but you should not be getting meaningful snaps in the game. You give that ball to David Montgomery, hell, bring in Akeem Hicks and his lazy ass to play fullback, and you go get us some yards, okay? JP Holtz and all these other people who are getting meaningful snaps and reps, they should not be in the game.
It drives me crazy.
It drives me crazy.
You're preaching to the choir.
It drives me crazy. I watched the Ravens game earlier today, right?
Mm-hmm.
They got, I think it's Jason Richards, right? He was a defensive lineman, 6'3", 310 pounds. They slapped the fullback number on him, and guess what? He's in the game making blocks, right?
Yep.
And the coach is being creative. That's called creative play calling. Okay. And I'm sorry, guys, I'm kind of nervous. I'm kind of jumbled up.
No.
But,
No, you're doing a great job.
You're going on your rant. Your rant. I love it.
Okay. I want to go back to our secondary. And I want to go back to Chuck Pagano. Chuck, you're in over your head, buddy. Okay. Your ship is sailed. You don't have Ray Lewis. You don't have Ed Reed. You don't have Chris McAllister. You don't have those guys, okay? But what you do have, you got Khalil Mack and you got Robert Quinn, okay? Right there, you should be scheming all types of different formations to get these guys open. I've only seen him all season line up Khalil Mack and Robert Quinn maybe 4 times on the same side all season long. Okay, you got Robert Quinn, who's a 4-3 defensive end, dropping in coverage. Okay, they did it again today for like 4 plays. I'm thinking, like, what the hell are you doing? You're taking one of your best pass rushers out of the game to cover a running back or a wide receiver. No coach does that. Okay, Khalil Mack. Okay, Khalil is a great player, but great players you need to put them in a position to succeed. Okay, you saw that he was getting chipped by the running back. Even Taysom Hill chipped him a few times. Not to mention he was getting held practically the whole game. You need to move him around, put him in a different position. Okay, drop down into a different front.
Oh my God! Exactly. They put him in positions to be successfully one-on-one, single block, force them to have to change their whole game plan. Instead, you just put them out there and you leave them there. All of these things you're saying is why you're a patron on this network. That's why you're on this show. You reached out to me. I know. I felt like you knew this team was going to lose this game, and you wanted to say your last hurrah to Matt Nagy and Pagano, and you came on here and you did it. And the reality is, this point is a great one. Your final one, it might be your best. Obviously, all of the other ones is you're preaching what we're preaching. You're a part of this. Your family.
Absolutely.
And I totally love that about this network, about you. But the last point that you made, and especially in a playoff game, it should have happened against the Packers, where you move Khalil Mack inside, line him up in A gap, stand his ass up right in front of Rodgers, and get them to have to change their philosophy. And you put the other kid out there. You put Robert Quinn on the left side, and you move people around, and you fucking attack their front.
Absolutely. The best coaches do that, and you see it with Wade Phillips. With
he's
Aaron
somebody
Donald,
that
right?
you can't block. One guy can't block that guy.
No, you can't. He's a freak of nature.
He's unbelievable. But you don't even have to change his position. All you have to do is slant him inside and let the tackle come to the outside and cover him and become the contain man, and he'll disrupt the whole team.
Absolutely,
he really would.
And that's part of some of the other defensive philosophies I never really understood about Pagano. Okay, you got Quinn and Mack playing a wide 9 when they're in their 4 down front. Okay, you've already committed a tackle to be able to run those guys
Remember
off.
the Giants beating the Patriots that were undefeated? You know what they did? They took Michael Strahan and they put Osi Umenyiori and they moved them everywhere on that line. So every play, the great Bill Belichick, who my dad loved, their offensive line coach, Dante Scarnecchia, he was having trouble, and that fucked Tom Brady up. No matter what, that was why they won. Forget the big cat. Obviously, that was huge in the game, but the only reason you're in the game is because Strahan's playing D3 technique, and he's beating their guard inside, and they weren't ready for. That's the kind of stuff where you empty the chamber, Gary. You empty the chamber.
You empty the chamber, right? Well, we can see that he was playing with a pop gun, right?
Pop gun.
So, guys, I want to talk to you about Mitch for a minute, okay? My cousin Jason Bonds, who's also within the chat, I got to get him to be a Patreon member so that he can get some of the other shows. But shouts out to you, cousin Sean. We had several discussions about Mitch and the problems with Mitch Trubisky and what's wrong with him and things like that. I can tell you this. Mitch is a great athlete, but Mitch isn't an NFL starting level caliber quarterback. And the reason why he isn't is because he doesn't have a good teacher. Okay. Matt Nagy doesn't know how to develop a quarterback. Okay. You were gifted Alex Smith, okay, who was an NFL veteran. Right. About time you got to him in Kansas City. Okay, you were gifted Patrick Mahomes, and we all know that Andy Reid is a quarterback whisperer, right? The work he's done with Foles and, McNabb and Michael Vick. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Nagy's system, I can tell you, based upon what I'm seeing and when I'm looking at tape too, Phil, when you put the tapes up, it's almost like he's teaching Mitch to go predetermined with the football, right? So most of the time when you see them snap the ball, he's immediately locked on one guy. So he's never I just put it out there. We know our offensive line is like 5 traffic cones. They don't block worse shit. But it seems to me that Mitch, before the ball is even snapped, he knows who he's throwing to. So he's not even taking a chance to even scan the field. And I think a lot of it's because he's gun shy, because you got the Wars on one side. You got a Fetty, who was a cast off from Seattle, who Russell Wilson didn't want to have this guy blocking for him on the other side. And then we got a merry-go-round in the middle, right? Where sometimes Cody Whitehair looks like, he wants to be on any given play, Whitehair has a good technique, or he's sloppy with his footwork. Or Mustafa, who, I think plays with a lot of heart, and I love the guy. He needs to get stronger. Okay.
Yeah, he needs to take a whole year work on his body.
Right.
Obviously, we're getting James Daniels
But
back.
they got to also be taught technique.
True. The technique, they need to be taught technique. And if I was him, I'll get on the phone to Olin Kreutz and say, look, teach me how to play NFL center. Okay.
Well, he already does. He works with Olin. He works with Olin and or Alex Bars and Sam both work with Olin.
Okay.
During the offseason.
Okay.
A lot more.
Yeah, Alex needs a lot more work. Good Lord. I mean.
Oh my God.
Still, it looks like a battery's going to go.
All right,
Okay.
Chad.
See you, Coach.
Before we let you go, since we got you, you want your final thought?
Yeah, I just think that I'm hoping that you guys get your New Year's wish, and get a new football coach. That's what I hope.
Yes.
I'm not a Bears fan, but I can appreciate it. Hey, listen, I'm a Hallis fan and all those great players. I love them and admire them. So the Bears mean a lot to me. I'd like to see them win. It's a shame to be in the doghouse all the time. I mean, this is ridiculous. That city has such love. It's like Cleveland. I'm finally getting a chance to win. And that's what the Bears deserve. They need that win constantly. Every year they have to win. They might not win a championship, but they have winning season, go to the playoffs, and they're eventually going to win. That's my feeling.
Well, there you go. Yeah, in the words of John Madden, football is always better when the Chicago Bears are winning. And that always stood out to me, the great John Madden. Dad, we're going to see you this next Sunday on X's.
Sunday or Saturday?
Saturday. Saturday, 11
Saturday, 11 o'clock.
11 a.m.
See you, Coach.
Okay. Nice meeting you.
Nice
you have
meeting
some
you
good
too.
thoughts. All right,
Thank
buddy.
you.
Take
God
care.
bless. Coach, my dad, Coach Atosha. Gary, I
Yes,
got another guy in the hole. I want your big facts, your big final thoughts. You've come on here. You're getting some fans. Claudio, smoking weed every day.
You got to play.
There he is.
Play hey, Claudio. You got to play Claudio's music for me.
That's what I thought you were hitting over there. I was like, man, that's a big.
Every day.
Maybe Shane
the
can.
Barber.
Can I switch that in show, Phil?
I think you can. I tried to do it once. Yeah, you can.
Oh, I just did it. Hold up, Gary. I got you.
Okay.
All right, buckle up, kid.
Smoke weed every day. Smoke weed every day.
There it is.
It's a classic. Classic.
Shout out segment without a shout. You have your shout out time, Gary. Go ahead. Do you know your patron number? Did Shane give you that?
Shane did. I believe it is, and I can pull it up real quick on my Facebook Messenger. It is. Give me 1 second. I just switched to an iPhone 12.
Dun, 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 dun.
Oh, it's the wrong show. I'm sorry. Now I'm having
goodness.
Did you
Shane,
find it?
I'm trying to find you in my chat, and I can't.
You gotta know this by heart. Lady Bear's pissed at you right now.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
You know hers by heart.
You know what it is? I have so many messages from the guys in my cigar group, you're
You
kind
got a
of
cigar group. We got Claudia.
I don't give a fuck that he smokes weed. They all smoke weed.
Smoke weed every day.
You'll figure it out. Give us your final thoughts. You can always pop back and put it into the chat, and we'll put it up. What are your what's your final thought here?
I am Patreon member number 405.
Look at
There you
that. Boom,
All
boom.
right.
405.
Here's my final thoughts, guys. We need to hire people in the off season who are football people. Okay. If it's Peyton Manning, if it's Mike Shanahan, the guy who I want, who I think will be perfect to lead this organization back to the promised land, be it whether he's the coach or he's the guy making football decisions who's a football lifer. And you guys probably see me like put it in the chat a lot, right? Bill Cowher. Okay.
You like that guy.
Bill, yes. I think if the Bears came to him and said, listen, Bill, you're the guy. Whatever position you want to play in this organization, be it, the football operations guy or the president, and you bring in smart people under you, you're the guy. Okay. And I think that he would relish that role. But we're dealing with the the romper room that we call the Hallises and the McCaskies, okay? They're not going to get it right. They're going to hire the next hot, up-and-coming offensive guru, and we're going to be singing a sad song 4 years into it like we are right now with Matt Nagy, okay? And there's hope, guys. There's hope.
I hope
if
there's
we got
hope.
the right people. I hope that is hope.
That's going to be the quote, the name of this show, Shane. I hope there's
Hope that there's hope.
I hope there's hope.
I hope that there's hope. Okay.
A rope a dope. I hope there's hope. Where's my boy Kennedy? That'll be our new song. Well, Gary, you came on the show. You were nervous at first. You're meeting with your boys the first time. You've been a huge supporter of what it is we do here. Love you for that. Truly, you've made me smile. You've made my nipples hard. Coming on here after, I picked the Bears to lose 34-16. And so I didn't have the belief, but, in the heart of the game, you're a competitor. My juices were flowing. You had an opportunity there to win. I thought you came in here and really brought it home and brought your passion with it. But we got to get to our next guy. So I really appreciate you. Right, Shane? You appreciate our boy.
Absolutely.
Gary.
Absolutely.
Cigar.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
I love it.
All right,
Thanks,
brother.
Gary.
We'll be on. We're going to have plenty of shows on the patron side as well as here in the off season. We're going to bring you back.
Yeah, real quick.
Go ahead.
This pick Pitagoras Ali Miranda. I see your game I don't give a fuck for your patron. Keep up your bullshit in the chat, bro, because I'll bounce you from fucking both. Let me control the fucking jokes. So go fuck yourself. All right?
Fired up.
Yeah. I don't give a fuck if you're a patron or not. You want to be a dickhead in the chat room on my show?
Gary?
Go fuck yourself.
What is he being a dick about? Gary?
Everything. He's a fucking smartass. Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
we don't need that kind of bullshit on our network. Take that shit to the other guys,
Shane.
okay?
Shane is holding people accountable. He's doing
You
what?
got to. Yeah, fucking jokesters in the chat. I don't give a fuck if he's a patron or not. Don't be a dick in the fucking chat. How about that?
I love it. Gary.
Keep
I
it
love
simple.
you, man. I love the cigar, and I love the light with the brick wall behind you. Seriously.
Also, don't care if I'm talking to a veteran, Pitagoras. Don't play the fucking game, Chief. You want to be a dick? I'll treat you like a dick.
Jeez. All right, Gary.
All right,
bless
guys.
you.
God
Love
bless you too. Love you too.
Got to get your cousin on the patron side.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
All right, brother. Look at this guy. Gary coming in there, bringing heart, passion. Shane.
Yep.
Off the sideline, grabbing Miller by the face mask and throwing him out. Pitagoras.
Yeah.
Audio keeps putting his
Yeah.
comments up.
It's in the Bronx. Oh. Shaking Pythagoras. Keep it up, Chief.
I don't even know where Tim is from. I don't know if I'm supposed to even give his real name because I see Country Boy.
Country Boy
662. We're going to have to learn about that. Is coming on the show. Again, every Bears Hour Live, we try to bring two of you fans, loyal fanatics of our network on the show, and obviously Bears fans. So give us your rant. Give us your thoughts. Give us your passion. We got to have hype.
It's 100 Crew Hot Takes. Phil and Shane bringing on a fan to talk Bears and what just happened in the Bears game each and every week. You have to have hype.
Phil's always telling me to hype.
You can't be flat.
Don't be
So be ready,
flat.
be prepared, and bring your
Gary
passion.
That hype coming out of my ass.
It's 100 Crew Hot Takes. Hashtag Spencer Strong.
Those are big time fucking throws.
Absolutely. Here, best post-game show on the planet, Bears Hour Live.
What's going on, fellas, man?
What's up, fella?
Look,
Country
man,
Boy.
not too much.
Is that Matt Nagy crying in the background at your house?
Nah, that's my baby. Look, she just heard this motherfucking press conference and it pissed her off too, just as much as it made me mad. I don't know what the hell that was, man. But the first thing I really want to say is, yeah, everybody's right. Matt Nagy need to go. And this is before 2019, before 2020. You gotta go for the simple fact, like, you had a chance to win a motherfucking game, Chargers. Like, I'm gonna go back that far. You could have won the Chargers game and a couple more in that season and been 10-6, but yet you was a dumbass and you chose to not put your motherfucking players in the best position to win.
That's right.
You didn't come here to do what you were supposed to do, which is develop Mitch Trubisky. And I'm glad he going. Honestly, I'm glad that man gone so he can go ahead and go on with his career. And I hope he don't pull a Leonard Floyd. That would be my best. Like, that would be the best out. Don't pull a Leonard Floyd and be better than you was here, because that would just be a long line, a long list of motherfucking players that did exactly that.
I hear what you're saying. You're saying Mitch Trubisky goes somewhere else and then he starts showing his real talents there. Well, that would be an indictment on the guy that was hired to come here and be the
Absolutely.
guy. And those people, and we started this before Gary came on, Shane was pointing out the Twitter buildup. Listen, I don't want to get into politics, but we know about fucking Twitter, okay? There's a lot of people that love to be this guy. They like this thing right here, this keyboard motherfucking tough guys, right?
You know exactly what you're doing when you don't know what the fuck you talking about.
You know what you're doing.
Did you just call out Pythagoras too, Phil?
I don't know if I'm talking about Bears blog. People are saying Matt Nagy needs to really have his quarterback. Shane smashed that bullshit.
But he picked Foles, though. He had a chance to pick any quarterback in the motherfucking draft.
Yeah.
You moved up to draft Mitch. You could have moved up to draft the quarterback that you wanted, but you wanted Nick Foles.
Yeah, you were willing to give a fourth rounder for Nick Foles and guarantee him $21 million.
He signed on. The narrative is so bullshit, Tim, because you as the head coach, say the Bears come to me, right, and say, I want you to coach. Well, my first question is, obviously, yeah, I'm interested. What's the plan at quarterback? That's the thing. You already established that.
Like, I just came from an organization with Patrick Mahomes, and this guy ain't that.
Exactly. Or you're sitting there and you're saying, I want to work with that kid because I can unlock all of these things. Let's not fucking manipulate the blog and all of these fucking people that are trying to not recognize what's on the fucking tape every week with this coach.
Because that's what I've been seeing, especially for the last 3 years, that, Matt Nagy doesn't have his quarterback. He's so limited with Mitch Trubisky, but at the same time, when you think about it, Mitch Trubisky damn near saved his job like a few weeks ago.
Go, Tim.
Let's be real about it.
In Oregon,
we went from a 16-point offense to a 30-point offense for 3 weeks, and goddamn Matt Nagy had to put his fucking fingers back in it. Why?
Exactly.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Like, literally, for real shit.
I agree.
And I'm glad your pops ain't on because I don't like to cuss in front of my elders. You know, Coach O, I love you to death, man. You raised a hell of a man. But still, it is what it is.
Where are you from, Tim, with the accent? I'm trying to hear.
I'm originally from Mississippi, man. Born and raised, Batesville, Mississippi. And honestly, that's why I get my passion for football for.
My father went to junior college. I wish he was still here. He's like, true story. When he was telling me, I went to junior college in Mississippi. I go, what the hell was that like in the 50s?
What college did he go to?
Oh, God, I'm suck at this. But I will text you and let you know. He said to me,
all right,
this is the true story. I had to get out of there. I took the first opportunity to go to Nebraska because the way they treated black people down there was overwhelming to him. And I'm not trying to
that's true. That's true shit, though. It's hard out there.
For the first, because he's from Brooklyn, New York. This is a East. They were like, you're a Yankee coming down here. So he was treated a certain way. And then he told me the story about, and I'll let him tell the story, but first time he's ever seen any human being have to go on the other side of the street because he was walking on this side. And he's like, I can't be here. He didn't feel comfortable. And that's how he raised me, to recognize a person.
And honestly, even with that, now, like, I always had a mentality where I could never have grown up at that time just because of how I am now. They would have killed me. Like, I'm just going to go ahead and put that out there. I have never bit my lip or bowed my head to nobody.
Let me ask you this. What did you think of the Javon Wims drop to start this game?
I think if Darnell Mooney would have played or if Riley Whitley would have been on the fucking play, that would have been a touchdown.
Totally agree.
There he is. Look at him.
Like, let's be real about it. What up, Claudio?
1-1, baby. What up? What up? You know it. You know Mooney ain't dropping that shit. And Ridley,
man,
too.
not at all.
This kid Ridley comes in at the end of the game, fucking
Ridley
balling out.
was in the game, guys.
Oh, God.
For that play. This is coaching now. The blog. We got Peter Bukowski to come on here, and we fucking destroyed that guy on our network.
I saw that, and I loved every second of that shit.
That
was beautiful.
The blog, the Bears blog, to come on here and talk fucking football with people that are going to challenge your football acumen and not portray that you have source. A source means shit to me. I always get that shit. Like, I don't give a shit if someone told you. I share someone told me this happened. Okay, that's big.
And
deal.
a lot of I hate to cut you off, Phil, but a lot of stats that a lot of people want to bring up just in last year is the touchdowns and all this situation. But do people not realize that we were like second or third in drop passes last year?
That's true. A lot.
We dropped more passes in this one game than all weekend of all teams. Damn near.
Use that as an excuse for Matt Nagy's offense. That's what we can't. Like, football coaching is accountability. The fundamentals, as you heard my father on here, and you had Steve Edwards. I thought Steve fit right in talking about the offensive line and all of the issues. We have, how many guests do we have, Shane? Olin Kreutz, Captain Rank, all of these people. Everybody has different opinions. That's fine. Even Pythagoras in there. I love the debates. I love it. When you start being rude, you go over a line. There's a line. You don't go over the fucking line. You don't try that. Swearing is completely legal on this show. Being an asshole is not. I'm keeping it 100. So everybody's going to have an opportunity if they deserve to come on the show, like you, Tim. You've been a huge supporter of what we do. You promote us. You go out of your way. The show isn't about Tim. He gets that. Tim is a guest on the show because he loves it. Gary was nervous because he was coming on with his boys for the first time. Probably afraid of audio. Look at him. He looks like a fucking terrorist. I hate to say it, but
I'm in the cave. I'm in your cave here.
Yeah,
Smoke weed every day.
Ain't nothing wrong with it, cardio. But hey, on the real, with y'all, like I've been following y'all since the last network, man. Seriously, like I loved y'all, like you and Shane, man. I'm glad y'all stuck together.
Oh yeah,
Bad boys for life.
Bad boys.
But outside of that,
Yes.
Man, I found you with the tape never lies, period. Like I was pissed off. I think it was actually the New Orleans game last year. And like ever since then I saw that and I've been loving y'all, but I agree with everything that y'all be saying. Like seriously, y'all do not miss a beat.
That's what we try to do here. 100 crew strong. And that's right there on perfect time, Chuck and Lydia Goring. It's exactly what we do. I keep it 100. I am trying to negotiate people that are imitating what we do and people that are hating and trolls. And then there's people that love what we do and respect. And that's really where we go. I don't care about somebody's follow or like or any of that. I care about the heart of people. Like you can have a completely different, like I'll say Sonny Parrish, one of our patrons, he has a completely different point of view, but I'm not going to bed or worrying about Sonny. I don't like him. He just has a different perspective, feeling on it. Hopefully this show has done what I said. How many people have come to me? Holy fuck. I thought this way about Khalil Mack, and you showed me on the tape that it isn't that. It's the other way, where the narrative is Mack is getting paid so much money. He should be having a sack. Even in the Leonard Floyd bullshit. Let me say this.
Go ahead.
Leonard Floyd has the best defensive fucking player in the league inside. What that does for a pass rusher, think about it in your head.
On the outside.
Fucking opens up you for fucking free run because that inside guy is pushing that
like
quarterback.
You got to make one move and go. You good.
One move and go. They're not double teaming Leonard. So Leonard's speed and twist game and all of that, all the occupy, that's what happened. And that's why Gary's point tonight about Mack, again, moving him around, getting those matchups is going to help the whole fucking team. But Pagano, Nagy, the conservativeness of Shane, you said this a while ago during the season. There's something they can't be aggressive because they're worried about their offense not being able to stay in.
Yeah, I was actually defending Pagano a little bit earlier, but I mean, as the season went on, Phil, he's got to be. Like I said, I don't want to bring everybody down. I expect them to bring Ryan Pace and Matt Nagy back. I think that they're going to move on from Mitch. I think Chuck Pagano's going to. I think that they're going to move on from Chuck Pagano.
But do you really want them to fuck up another young quarterback? Really?
No. That's the thing, and they'll. I'm not saying that that's what I want. I'm saying that's what I think this ownership will do. Happen. Yeah.
Jump in here. You know what Shane wanted? I'm going to give my boy a shout out because it's true. He wanted a fucking kid playing in Philly that got benched in that game and in total chaos of betting and gambling. You know what I'm talking about? Former Alabama quarterback
Jalen Hurts
that went to Oklahoma and they got drafted.
And I would take Jalen Hurts.
What would Jalen?
I would have anyway.
Exactly.
How nice would that be to have a developmental guy like that that's got athleticism that can get you out of trouble when he needs to with his legs?
Jalen Hurts.
But the Bears wouldn't draft one at all.
But at the same time, you got to think about it. Jalen Hurts is damn near another Mitch Trubisky. He's not completely accurate.
No.
But he can make those plays when they need to be made.
Absolutely.
No bullets in the pocket. There's lies.
He's got a better deep ball than Mitch.
He does. He's
more accurate.
True enough.
And he's a young kid.
But he also got receivers that'll catch the fucking ball.
Yeah. Well,
for real.
But I think Mitch has better receivers here.
Let me say
in
this.
Chicago than they do in Philly.
Until they started playing.
Yeah, that's true. But
very...
Phil, we got some stuff here in the chat room, and our guest here, Country Boy, he's looking like somebody that's connected to the Bears. And what do you guys think? Take a look at this picture.
Let me see.
It's got some Spice Adams going on,
Man,
right?
Oh my God!
Look it. See? Am I right? I'm like this motherfucker, Spice Adams.
Hey, it's better than Cedric Benson.
That's right.
I'm from Mississippi, but God, he don't like me no more, so he moved me to Packertown for some odd reason. So I'm out here completely always debating with these people about the Bears, and yeah, we actually got a good team, but we don't have a coach there to do shit with them.
Yeah, it's true.
You know what bothers me? And I was going to say one last point about Jalen Hurts. The lie that we've gotten from the GM should not be forgotten here on the last, game of the season. The lies. I'm going to it's important to draft a quarterback every year. Never has he done it. He's got no developmental quarterbacks. He's got what's his name Taylor Swift on the practice squad.
Oh,
why am I drawing a blank on this clown?
Yeah.
What's our
Tyler Bray.
Tyler Bray, yeah.
He knows the offense though, Phil. Been in the league 7 years.
He really do.
Yeah.
Bray, guys.
I ain't seen a damn lick of real playing time, but he know the offense.
And you got Nick Foles that you traded for. You've developed nobody.
Which is a Super Bowl MVP.
Exactly.
Super Bowl MVP is exactly what everybody's been telling me. He's so much better than our other quarterbacks. But
6 straight with
6 straight.
Yes. And listen,
I give him the one against Atlanta, and I give him his 2 wins. But outside of that, you've done nothing.
That's
hey,
that's Shane.
I almost went there.
That's Claudio. Claudio's handling that.
Hey, I take a joke. I ain't even tripping on
We
it.
had Chase Daniel before that.
Yeah.
As Adrian Hernandez. It's a problem. So can you trust the GM, the coach?
No.
No.
Well, and that's the thing. I don't think if they bring back Pace and Nagy in the same. Well, if Pace is the GM, bringing him back, I think if they go quarterback in the draft, I think it's 100% not Pace's call. It's going to be the exact quarterback that Matt Nagy wants. You can take that for what it's worth, but that's exactly what I think will happen.
That actually sounds like it'll happen.
Hub Arkish says it's a bad football decision to fire the coaching staff. This guy
when the coaching staff ain't showed you nothing better than 8-8.
Let me read the Bears blog tweet that Ryan Cox is keeping me posted on. My God, I'm so sick of play calling getting blamed for bad execution.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? Execution is the formulation of the play, you jackass. So
did we not have
you're not coaching it right? That's the problem. Oh my God.
Did we not have one of our receivers say something like, I wish we called one of the plays that we run in practice in the game?
Several receivers.
Yeah, Anthony Miller said that.
Miller said you had Riley Ridley get benched for saying that. Let me say this. You had Roquan Smith questioning the defensive coordinator. You got Mitch Trubisky questioning the head coach. That is bad coaching, Hub. God, are we fucking?
Well, that's the thing. I hear media analysts. I've heard it brought up numerous times. People are like, "Oh, he won Coach of the Year in 2018." This is 2021 at this point. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
Fisher won,
and they really don't matter, especially in 2019 when you go 8-8.
Yeah,
twice.
Yeah,
you're in neutral.
Back to back.
You're in neutral.
Exactly.
You're in neutral. Who's a bad? Adam Gase was a fucking offensive coordinator of the year. Does that mean he's a fucking great coach?
Hell no.
Exactly. So you can't go for the narratives. That's why it's so important that you follow the link right there on the bottom of the screen, www.thetapeneverlies.com. You're going to get all the shows, defense, offensive breakdowns, coaching clinics, free agency, the NFL draft covered like nobody else. In fact, obviously, you're keeping it 100. You're going to be seeing that. Special shows throughout the offseason, all throughout. I know some people are sick to their stomachs over the Chicago Bears. But, Tim, does anybody – you see what's going on with Tim here, and he's getting his balls broken by Shane.
Man.
You wouldn't want it any other way, would you?
Fun, right?
I love it.
Exactly.
I love it.
We're going to have parody songs. We're going to do all this stuff. We got My boy Cool Kennedy, he wrote a song ending the show, remixed the Bears Hour Live to end the show. We got all of this fun stuff we're planning and breaking it down. If there's a firing tomorrow, hopefully, because
please,
I heard don't listen to this that he's safe from a reliable source.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see. This was another embarrassment.
Well, JJ Stankovic said on a tweet, Phil, and I think it's important. You know,
Go ahead. I didn't see
Virginia.
it.
Virginia turned 98 years old. George is a fan. He wears his emotions on his sleeve when it comes to this team. The Bears have been on national TV
He a
this
fan
year.
of who?
What's that?
He a fan of who?
Oh, I think he gets very emotional. I just don't think he makes the right decisions. I think that's the problem. Like a lot of fans, I mean, we have people out here calling for Mike Singletary to restore the roar in Chicago and stuff like that. I'm just saying, I think that he's an emotional guy, and to JJ's point, the Bears played on national TV 5 times. They were embarrassed 4 times.
Every
and
time.
It matters. This is
I like
play.
how Brad Biggs worded his question. You've lost 8 of 11.
Yeah.
That's the anti-blog question. That's
absolutely.
That's exactly what a tough question should be. You think Rex Ryan wasn't getting tough questions in fucking New York? What? Because they kept it real. They knew.
Yeah.
They know how important the fucking football team is.
New York.
And the real fucked up thing about the 8 and 11 is you could have won at least 5 of those 11 if you would have just made a better decision.
You imagine the Detroit game was a showcase for anybody defending a coach. That he was the problem. You had a 10-point lead with 2 minutes and 38 seconds, and you lost.
With a badass running back.
Exactly. He can't figure out who the fucking running back is for 8 weeks. He traded Jordan Howard out of town. Think of it.
Because he didn't fit in the system.
Tariq Cohen was an every down thought. Tariq Cohen and Cordero Patterson, 2 special teamers, situational guys, are his focus. That's a head coach? No.
And that alone should get you out of the motherfucking position.
Exactly. But we're gonna see. I'm not saying he's staying. I'm hope. What was the title? I got hope for hope. I got hope for hope tonight that they will make the right decision, like we did for having you and Gary on. That's my reality. I don't know.
Hey, I appreciate you having me on.
Now I know you. That's what I love about this network.
Yeah.
I've talked to you through text, but when you get to know somebody, I know you got kids screaming in the background. I'm right there with you. Trust me.
Actually, it's only one now. The bigger one that you hear is my wife.
Oh,
she must be a Steelers fan. They're getting their asses kicked.
No, actually, she a Cowboys fan, but I'm trying to get her over this way.
Yeah.
It's hard. I ain't no Bears fan. I can hear her saying it.
Just show her this picture. Maybe it'll turn the tides.
I would not do no such thing, man. Wow.
Show her your appearance on this show. Listen, do you have any final thoughts before we let you go? I want to give you the stage as well as a shout out, like our boy Gary. You were great tonight. Well, I'll end talking about you, but go ahead.
All right, so my final thoughts is Pace, Nagy, they need to go. I don't care about Nagy. His record, any of that, his record didn't produce shit.
Yeah.
Just so that what we have in the future is not going to be wasted, because all this coach has shown us is that he just don't waste talent. From Mitch Trubisky to Riley Ridley, you ain't did nothing but wasting. And honestly, I ain't got no shout outs because, like I said, like my wife, a lot of my family Bears fans. I mean, Cowboys fans. So they ain't even watching. So I can't say shit to them.
Well, you kept it 100. Honestly, I love your personality, your attitude to this, and your belief in what we do at this network, everything we're doing here, and supporting us and coming with us after we built this new network and being a patron and everything that we love. You know, you love about.
Hey, I was happy y'all did it.
Yes.
Keep it up, man. Keep up the good work. I was happy y'all made y'all own stuff.
Well, so are we.
We got a lot more in store for you guys too this offseason. It's going to be you're not going to be lacking on shows, and I don't know are you into the NFL draft and the entire offseason? I'm assuming you are.
Oh hell yeah!
We're gonna have it
Everything,
all.
and I'm riding with y'all till the wheels fall off.
Yep, we're gonna have it all covered for you guys. So I'm excited. You know, as much as I hate seeing the Bears being bounced from the playoffs and the season is so far away now, it's we're not done here at TTNL because Phil and I, we know how to do it. We've been doing this a long, long time, and we have a lot of exciting stuff in store for you guys. So it's gonna be fun, man. Looking forward to it.
Hey, I'll be waiting for it. And for everybody in the Hunter crew, bad out, man. We got greater days ahead, man. Just hope and believe, man.
That's right.
Well, you kept it real here on the best post-game show on the planet, Bears Hour Live. You know that. Thank you so much for jumping on with us. What is it again? Country Boy 662, aka.
Yep, you know, or if you find me on Facebook, it's just Tim Madison. You know,
I didn't want to give your full government unless you gave me permission, but you got it.
I ain't got no problem with it.
Follow him, Tim Madison. Great dude, huge Bears fan, huge supporter of our network. I appreciate you, brother, coming on.
All right, man. Y'all have a good one, man.
See you, man.
Right. Give me something.
Yep.
Give me some goodbye from the South, something Southern. What do you got?
I just did it. It's just that simple. Y'all have a good one, man. Y'all be good out here. Everybody else as well.
We'll take it.
We'll take it. God bless. Tim Madison coming on Bears Hour Live. Jamal, I was going to answer you. 4th round, Riley Ridley was the beacon of light. Shane.
Ryan Pace's words.
Ryan?
I was a big fan, man. I'm
still a fan.
I co-signed on that. He's got everything that you want. He's not a what's that?
The 2 plays he got, he's making plays. I get it. It's in garbage time. But that's the reality of this kid. I just don't get it. Yeah. But I love Tim Madison. And I loved Gary. 2 fired up patrons. I just love it, man. I love where we're going. That left me in good spirits because of fans like that. Real quick, I want to say this. Claudio and his family had a huge, tough couple weeks. And the video, Claudio, that you put up and the fans reaching out to the network, especially you, my boy, and your family. It was just awesome what we're building here. And I know you wanted to say something, and you should. You deserve the stage because you were like to me, and I'll just quote you, and then I'll give it to you. That's what we call this in the business, the pass and trade. It's amazing how many fans truly care about this network and what we're doing, and you were so surprised how many actually love and respect you, despite how Shane treats you on the show.
It's all good.
So go ahead. I know you. I wanted to give you 2 minutes to say
real quick. I don't talk like Phil. I keep it short and sweet. But listen,
thank God.
Yeah, I mean, I had I don't post a lot of stuff. I don't do a lot of social media. But I was like, I looked at my daughter and I'm like, all these people that have been contacting me that I don't even know, never met, because of this show. They contacted me to say, well wishes for me and my daughter, and she had a procedure. It's kind of crazy to explain, but they actually had to take a piece of her bottom of her skull off because it was putting pressure on her nerves near her spine and stuff like that. So, but anyway, so I looked at my daughter. I'm like, we got to make a little video to say thank you, and I got emotional the first 3 times I made it. I had to make it was like the 4th take. Because it was, it was crazy, man. It was.
You want me to air it? I just uploaded it, Claude. You want me to air it?
Right here? You can air it. Yeah, you can air it. Yeah. Go ahead. Yeah.
You want to take the comment down, Phil, and I'll play
you were
it.
joking. I got
No. In case people haven't seen it, they might want to see it.
Yeah.
What's up, guys? Just want to say thank you for all the thoughts and prayers for me and my daughter, Adriana, and just had the best birthday gift ever, having my daughter back home and healthy. So there's just one more thing to do. Bear down.
Nice.
Thank God she looks like mom.
Oh,
you know?
yeah, exactly. all my girls are beautiful, and yeah, it's amazing.
Or girls. You can't get a guy. You can't get a boy.
No, I couldn't. I tried wearing work boots. I tried fucking, tried all the fucking little fucking tricks of the trade, and just didn't work. But what are you gonna do? I gotta wait for a grandson, I guess.
That was awesome. Now you got my two sons who love Claudio to death.
Yeah, they're awesome.
Spoiling them. Today he bought Cool Ranch Doritos. He knew the way to.
Oh man, my kid, I kill for those. Riley's favorite too.
I don't come here on Sundays to watch the game with Phil. I come here just to wrangle his kids away from him, so he can focus on tweeting and fucking Facebook.
It's Facebooking.
Facebook, that's right, not tweeting. No tweet.
A verb. Facebooking. That's what I'm doing.
So 2 years ago, Claude.
I gotta catch up. I gotta catch up with the times.
I made Tate cry today. Oh, I felt bad because my dog is sensitive about her stomach. So he always will jump and lay on her and stuff. And I go, stay away from her. And he's like laying and jumps near her and the game's on. And I just was angry about the Javon Wims drop and everything. I'm like, get away from the goddamn dog and get out. He ran into his room. I think Steph came out. Can you talk to him? Anyway, Claudio. Anyway,
Listen.
Claudio, awesome stuff.
Yeah.
Vulnerability, I always say, surround yourself with good people, and you're going to get something good. And you saw Gary and Tim, and why all of you fans, I can't thank you enough for tuning into the show after a playoff loss, demoralizing defeat, and then you get to see some vulnerability and family stuff that this network is all about. And Claudio, for you to share that, as well as Shane to put the music behind it, everything
I
like
appreciate
that.
It's
just really great stuff. I know a lot of you are fighting in the fucking chat and you're going back and forth.
Yeah, I was trying to bring up Piteraris, whatever his name is, because he tried to apologize a little bit to you, Shane.
I get it. Listen, I get it.
Bring him on the show.
Phil and I are our own worst enemies. Sometimes I think people see they want to live and breathe. Listen, I'm not gonna hold it against the guy.
He actually asked you. He's like, "Oh, should I stay a patron?" He was asking you guys.
Well, if you don't want to, then don't, dude. If you want to leave, then leave. But I'm just saying, if you're gonna be a dick in the chat room, I'm gonna call you out. I texted Phil about it. I was surprised when I looked up and I saw that he was a patron. I'm like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Sit back and enjoy the fucking show. If you want to be a dick, be a dick. But if you get called out for being a dick, don't be a little bitch and then try to play a sympathy card like you did. We can still be good. It's fine. I mean, whatever. It is what it is. But Phil and I can be our own worst enemies because the keep it at 100 mantra, and I think we've dealt with it on Twitter. Every one of the YouTube shows that we put out, there's, hey, guys, love you guys for years, loved you forever, but I got to keep it 100. Do your intros have to be 3 minutes and 48 seconds long?
Yes.
They do, actually.
You have to be creative because what do you want? A redundant fucking... All right, we're
different. We're not the same. We're not the same cookie cutter show as everybody else. That's what separates us. That we're different, and we'll tell you. Listen, hit the fast forward button. Isn't a new fucking invention. If you don't like it, click it. If you really don't like it, click it twice. It'll take you ahead twice as fast. Pretty cool. But Phil and I are going to call it as we see it, and we're not for everybody, and that's fine. I don't give a shit if.
Yeah. I think after a year that the Bears had that game, people's emotions, everybody's, it's like, it sucks, but we got
that was great. Listen, we love Pythagoras, Ricardo, Ricky.
Exactly, dude. I'm not holding.
If you haven't caught the rant, Shane is going to put this show. It'll be on the YouTube channel. You can watch.
We're almost out of jail.
We're almost out of jail. February 13th.
Hopefully.
Is that Valentine's Day or is it the 14th? You gotta know.
Jeez.
Poor
Steph.
Sure. Well, I catch up during that time. There's like only 800 commercials. I always forget the date.
Just don't ask her when Valentine's Day
I'm asking you and the world. all of you. Anyway, there's jerks and there's family and there's jerks in your family. So you have to deal and learn to deal. And I honestly love our big, giant family that we're growing and fans. If you haven't decided to become a patron, become a patron. Go to the tapeneverlies.com, become a patron for $7 a month. You're going to get a lot. And as we go into the off season, there's going to be more, and we're going to start some tiers and things like that. So get in while the getting is good, as Claudio's father would say. And that's all I got to say.
Put on some work boots.
Let's
Handle
give
your
on-
business.
Exactly. A hard hat.
Claudia,
Someone in the
thank-
chat said I should have wore a hard hat instead of a Jimmy hat. Well, there was no Jimmy hat. That's the whole point.
That's the whole point. Claudio, thanks for coming on and sharing that
Oh,
at
yeah,
the
of
end of
course.
the show.
Great show.
Shane, I'm going to give you your chance for final thoughts, and I'll end with mine, and then we'll bounce for the night.
Yeah, no, the off season is here. It was an especially long one last year, Phil. It was very, very eventful for you and I, but we're doing our own thing now, and I couldn't be happier of not the Chicago Bears season, but the season that you and I and everybody behind the scenes, Chris Sandlin, Heather Sandlin,
Yes.
Jeremy Plashinsky, the voice of TTNL, everybody, Cars, Claudio, everybody that's helped us, Ace in the swag shop, they're the unsung heroes of what we do here. Phil and I get to be on here. You guys see us each and every week, every show. We get a lot of the love. We do get a lot of the hate too, but we couldn't do what we do each and every week without the people that aren't seen behind the scenes. But I just want you guys to know, once this is tentatively the last BHL for the season, maybe you might see it pop up in the playoffs on a big game. We're not going to commit to anything, but just keep your eyes peeled. You may see us back, but tentatively this is going to be the last BHL of the year for us, of the season, because Bears season is obviously over. But as we move forward, we're going to totally change our focus to off-season analysis. We're going to breeze through what we've seen, what needs to change once we know what direction this team is going. Senior Bowl is going to be coming up. The NFL Combine right now tentatively is still up in the air. They don't really know what's going on with that. There's a lot of questions surrounding that with the pandemic, with COVID and whatnot, but there's still going to be an NFL offseason when it comes to that. Workouts leading up to the draft, NFL free agency. Phil and I are going to have it covered head to toe. Cars is going to be another guy that's going to be very influential on what we do in terms of our off-season coverage, because us three live for it. We enjoy it, and even if you guys are semi-interested in the draft or in the NFL offseason in terms of free agency, we're going to take you guys through it. You guys are going to know the players. You're going to know the targets. We put our necks out there. Phil, where we came from, we used to do it all the time. I mean, there was an off season where we made a list. We hit on a whole bunch of them. There's been off seasons where we miss on them, and that's just the name of the game. But we put our names to it. We hope that you guys are here with us. There's going to be a lot of shows that are going to be patron only, and we understand we're still in a pandemic. People don't have the funds, but still, if you can swing it, you see at the bottom of the screen there, head over to the tapeneverlies.com. It's going to be $7 a month. That's going to give you full access to each and every show, behind the scenes, pop-up shows, NFL draft shows, free agency shows, anything we do, you will have full access. That works out to about 22.5 cents, 23 cents a day for what we do. I mean, we're over 2 hours here just on BHL. You guys are familiar with keeping it 100. That thing goes 3, 4, sometimes 5 hours. So for 23 cents a day, we feel like it's well worth it. We wanted to keep the price point low for everybody because we understand the times and the environment that we are living in. And let's face it, dollars are hard to come by. We totally understand and get it. We want you guys to be there with us. So that's why we dropped it as low as we could on our end to the $7 price point. And please just head over there, and nothing says that you have to stay for multiple months. Try it out for a month, and if you don't like it, you're out $7. But I think everybody that is a patron will open their arms and welcome you guys and tell you how much it is worth the investment on your part. And like I said, if you want to learn about the offseason, we're going to have you guys covered from top to bottom on every move that this team makes, every move that we think that they should make, and we're going to do it all.
Exactly. Hopefully tailgate party next year. Perfect timing, Brennan Wesley, keeping it 100 right there. Reading my mind. Also, just real quick, on the business side of things, we keep it 100, but we do it with the formulation of football truths behind us, as well as trying to be who we are creatively, those opens, the parody songs, the original music that you're going to hear to end this show by Cool Kennedy, who's now on the roster too. Lawrence Fleming, the voice, I want to thank him too. And, there's so many, Jeremy Plashinsky, the bouncer, all of you guys that Shane mentioned. Can't thank you enough. You 100 crew as well. We're going to do it with whoever signs up, whoever. We're going to be here. I see a lot of people. We're going to miss you. We'll see you in the spring. No, we ain't. We'll be back next week. We got Paige DeMacos from the Draft Network. We'll already start. We'll talk. She's a huge Bears fan, has a great football acumen and IQ.
We don't shut it down here in the offseason.
We don't shut it down.
We ramp it up.
We're here every week. We're going to be keeping it 100. Shane's talking about Bears Hour Live. We might change the show name and cover the playoffs. We don't know yet. We're still always thinking outside the box. But I know in the box, we're keeping it 100 with you. X's with the O's will be on Saturday. Obviously, the full version of The Tape Never Lies will be for you patrons Wednesday or Thursday, depending on everything I have with my family to get all of that cut, produced, edited, narrated. It's a lot of work to put that. And then I have to cut it again and put it out on our channel for the people that aren't patrons. So I try to work that way there. So those are the business sides. Obviously, this show will become a podcast. If you're listening on the podcast, you don't see a lot of the things that are going on with the fighting. We have the clip of Anthony Miller and everything like that. So hopefully you do go to the YouTube channel. Shane will upload that immediately. And once we're back on our network's YouTube live page, that's going to be great. And that's really it. I want to thank my dad for the season and jumping on when the games are nationally televised. Claudio for producing and always being there. And my wife, obviously, and family. And you guys, our family. I truly believe that. You never bother me. You don't bother me with your questions. I hate to bother you. You don't bother me. You don't. Just get that out of the way. I answer everyone. My final thoughts, though, are about this football team. And I hope tomorrow we're going live again to talk about the firing and the moving on and changing, or as Greg would say, course correcting what this football team is right now. My final thoughts on this game is this game of football is won and lost in the trenches. Today, the offensive line couldn't play the physical game that needed to be played against the Saints. So how do you do that? You use angles to help your football team be in a game and run the football. And unfortunately, Matt Nagy couldn't scheme and keep this team in the game that you were in. The defense played with passion. You heard my father, you heard Shane, you heard Claudio, you heard Gary, and you heard Tim all on here. And I see you guys in the chat seeing the defense. It's 7-3. The biggest indictment, it's my final thought, is when the coach told you in the press conference on the question from JJ Stankovitz, our buddy, why, with 1:22, did you run the ball there? And his answer is the reason why you fire this guy. Because you're an 8-8 football team that backed into the playoffs by losing to your rival. Let's keep it 100. And you're in this game 7-3. And you stopped Drew Brees. Your defense did their job. And they got you, the offensive guru, the ball back. And you chose to run the ball and go into the half because you didn't like the field position there. It was the 25-yard line. That's where you start. And that's where you should be finished with those statements. So that is my final thought.
You want to answer that real quick for Chuck and Lydia? Because I think it's...
Will there still be patron content monthly leading? Oh, my God.
It's going to be 95%. Yeah, it's going to be 95% of it, and it's going to be multiple times weekly.
We're going to do live mock drafts and so much stuff that I don't want to give away because... Yeah. You know, there's people that like to copy what we do. So
yeah, we'll have some patron mock drafts. Will come on. You guys can bring
patron shows only with just you patrons. It's going to be officially time this time, not 5 hours.
Yeah.
Anyway, this was the last show, so we went over our 2-hour mark, but I think it was worth it.
Oh yeah,
because you guys brought it. It is the last game, and there's 300 and something of you still strong going. And I just want to thank you all and keeping it 100. Wednesday night, Paige DeMacos from the Draft Network. Like I was saying, we're going to talk about this past game, the playoff game, but we're going to talk about the draft. And hopefully there's a firing tomorrow. If there is, I promise you, Shane and I will be live breaking it down like nobody else can, with actual football knowledge and acumen. God bless you. It's unfortunate. 8-9 Bears, Shane. You lost 8 out of your last 11, Coach. Brad Biggs actually stepped up that time.
Took him all season to have a good question.
Took him all year to have a good statement of truth. Rhetorical. All right, guys. Good night.
Live right after Bears games with your boys Draft Doc and the smartest man alive. Bears our life. Bears our life. We go on live right after Bears games with your boys Draft Doc and the smartest man alive. Chicago Bear coverage looking like the 3-4. Study film analysis you never seen before. They bring it to you live. Passion and stats. Roquan Smith, 52 Khalil Mack. QB sacks. Nagy need a new plan. His offense sucks. He should stick to selling shoes, man. Hope the defense can hold us down. Maybe if he could roll out money, Mitch could throw a touchdown. If the coach keeps calling dumb plays, the fans want him out. Gotta beat Green Bay. Apply pressure on Rodgers, fight each play. Tell Claudio to chill and smoke weed every day. Dissect the game plan with Shane Marsaw. Nagy gotta check the tape, but won't tell us what he saw. In draft, Dr. Phil blew reviews with the rant. Coach Atoshi said you gotta play with love and respect. Like, there's our life. Bears our life. We go on live right after Bears games with your boys Draft Doc and the smartest man alive. Bears our life. Bears our life. We go on live right after Bears games with your boys Draft Doc and the smartest man alive.